Today, we're showing you the best of Midtown Manhattan and Times Square. Sure, we'll visit the main attractions, but we'll also go off the beaten path and explore locations most New York tourists wish they knew about. Every single place in this video is within a 20-minute walk, so you won't run out of ideas. Here we go. Inside the M Social Hotel is a really amazing view of Times Square that many people don't know about. It's at a bar called Beast and Butterflies, and you've got to check this out. All right, I've been to a lot of rooftops in New York City, but I have to say, this view's unique. I can't think of too many where you are just staring straight on to Times Square, and you have all that noise, all that hustle and bustle, and we're sort of away from it. We're protected from it. But we can hear it. It's kind of like being at Top of the Rock, but at a bar. Let me find it. Oh, there's Times Square. Okay, that's a lot of people. I see it. I have to say the stereotype at hotel bars isn't always the best quality cocktails. Broadway Breeze right here. Wow. This is actually very good. This is whiskey based with Oktoberfest beer in it. If you want to have one of those surreal, I'm actually in New York City moments, stand right here with a drink. Or many drinks. They just opened up the entire kitchen for us. This is actually really good, wow. If you come up here and you like beer, I'm gonna get a little fancier, lobster roll, oh yeah. I wasn't actually expecting this to be so good. This is my job, to hang out on a rooftop bar, eating lobster rolls, looking at Times Square. I should have put this when I was in 3rd grade, like this is the career I want. Teacher wouldn't have believed me. Our next hidden gem is right here. What's that?
The picture for me, please.
Picture?
Yeah.
Sure. Ready? 1, 2. One of the best hidden gems in all of New York City, not just Times Square, is underneath this grate on Broadway between 45th and 46th Streets. 99.9% of people and all these people posing for photos, they don't realize they're walking over an art piece, which was installed in 1977 by an oral artist named Max Newhouse. It's called Times Square, and there's a humming sound. It sounds like, I'll show you. If you walk by here, it kind of sounds like an alien is playing a xylophone. And it's actually pretty surreal because it's drowned in with all the other sounds of the city, the sirens, the cars honking, all the people. Yet every time I pass by, I always notice it.
Normally I just ignore this. It's like I never thought it's actually some synchronized type of hum or music. Like a part of a New Yorker's cool club for knowing this fact.
It's just a consistent.
Right across the street from the main public library is a Stavros Niarchos Foundation Library, opened this July. On the top floor is one of the best free views of New York City that a lot of people don't know about. All right, guys, 7th floor.
Wow. This is so cool.
This is a $1 million view, and I can't believe I didn't know about this. It's pretty chill. You can come here with your computer and work with this amazing view.
I recommend coming here at night because you get the view of the skyline with all the lights on, and it's much quieter with the street traffic down here. Straight down there, Empire State Building. Summit OV right there. Newest attraction in New York. Absolute definition of a hidden gem here. Absolute definition. Birdland is a New York institution and a shrine to jazz history. This needs to be on more tourist radars as it's just a few blocks from Times Square. During the pandemic, Birdland was in danger of being closed, and fans from around the world helped raise $400,000 to save it. That really says something. Tonight, an artist named Peter Sincotti is playing. This guy has been #1 on the Billboard Jazz chart.
There it is, the Yardbird Suite.
Oh, that's good. It's like a key lime pie in my mouth. This is the kind of place that puts me in the mood for a good cocktail, actually. If you want to do dinner and then a show, you can combine both here. So you have your nice dinner and then watch world-class jazz at the same time. This is a win in my book if you're looking for the perfect night out in New York.
So good.
This is our first New York show post-pandemic. All right. I mean, this is unbelievable. And I don't have any reasons. Let's film all behind. Oh, I'm in a New York state of ladies and gentlemen,
That was so good.
Yeah, it was really fun. I think it's like the perfect date night if you want to do something really fun and cool.
A couple quick tips to ensure you get the table you want. Arrive 1 hour early. Also, this is one of the only family-friendly jazz spots in New York City, so feel free to bring the kids to this. Midtown Manhattan, home to almost every single New York tourist trap possible. But if you look a little closer, there's some magic here. Today we'll be showing you hidden gems and secret places that most locals don't even know about. Normally when we enter the subway, we've got headphones on to try to avoid all the sights and sounds of New York. But what if I told you you could make your own music? So this is called Reach New York, an art installation built by Christopher Janney in 1995. When you look at it, the air ducts are really speakers and the holes actually contain motion sensors. You put a hand up in front of one of the holes and you'll trigger a sound. You can move from sensor to sensor, playing a different sound on the instrument as you wait for your train.
We've got a special guest, Action Kid, native New Yorker. What do you think of this?
I mean, this is pretty cool. Gives you a little bit of a thing to do while you're waiting for the train.
And sometimes it just plays spontaneously. It's a little bizarre.
It's kind of X-Files, like the truth is out there.
It kind of feels like Twilight Zone.
You could even you could play a little song with your friend. You want to try? Let's go.
Yeah, you can.
Watch out, the UFOs is gonna come get the UFO.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, yeah.
He might have a point.
Only in New York, man. Only in New York.
Crazy thing is I've taken the art train here so many times and have never even noticed this till I did a little research for this video. You've heard of speakeasy bars, but what about a speakeasy takeout sushi spot that is one of the best deals in the whole city? This is already my kind of place. Oh, you can smell the fresh fish coming up the steps. It's here for pickup. It was John B. Thanks a lot. Action Kid, you ever eaten sushi in a place like this before?
This is a first for me. I mean, who eats in a place like this if you don't know?
We do. That is some of the freshest sushi I've ever eaten in a random alley in my life. And in New York too. How fresh that looks. You can just tell by the color how good the sushi here is. I'm not even gonna put any soy sauce wasabi. If my hotel was in Midtown, or my office was in Midtown, I would be here all the time. Then to keep in mind about Sushi 35 West is that the guys who run this used to work at Masa, which is a Michelin star Japanese restaurant. So they're bringing that expertise with low overhead here. So you are buying premium sushi at a really affordable price. And it's just totally my style of place. Little hidden gem, very local for now.
The more I eat this thing, the more I'm falling in love with it. Because at first, I was like, wow, this flavor is really good. It's really interesting. But It really grows on you. It's a great piece of sushi. It might be the best piece of tuna sushi I've had here.
Are you really surprised?
Yeah, I'm really surprised, yeah.
This could be the start of a new food trend in New York. Low overhead. Yeah. Having food like on top of smoke shops and in alleys. And I support this a lot. And make sure you order in advance on your phone. Then you won't even have to wait while you're here. Snag one of these VIP tables. There's not a lot of them. This place can't be real.
If you enjoy these videos, consider shopping my New York City guides. All price points, from food to itineraries and more. See the link in the description. Take your trip to the next level. Inside the New Yorker Hotel is one of the best little free museums that many New Yorkers don't even know about. Take the public escalator downstairs. Never been here, right?
Never had a clue that this was even accessible and had a free museum.
It's not a very big museum, it's just a little corner, but that's all you need here. Good for 5 or 10 minutes. A lot of people don't realize this, but the famed inventor and physicist Nikola Tesla spent the last 10 years of his life living at this very hotel, the New Yorker. The hotel was named his room and a study after him. In fact, he had such an obsession with the numbers 3, 6, and 9 that he would walk around the hotel block 3 times before going in. And of course, his room number was 3327, a multiple of 3. No shock. Unless you're staying at the hotel, you can't walk by his study or his old room, but you can enjoy this little exhibit here.
I see some old cups and
there's a teapot there. I think this is a lot of the stuff that was actually in Tesla's room. Little bonus for you, after you go to the Tesla Museum, TikTok Diner, connected to the New Yorker Hotel, has some of the best diner breakfasts in Manhattan. There's a lot of things you may expect on the side of a New York office building, but the world's largest active chess game, probably not one of them. No surprise this building was developed by the late Melvin Kaufman, who had an eclectic taste, known for 77 Water Street, where he had a full-size World War I era plane built on the roof, and the facade of 200 Water Street, which we've covered in other Hidden Gems videos, which once had the world's largest clock. So this just fits in perfectly. So at 3 stories high, they actually play historical games on here. And every Wednesday at noon, this cherry picker right here moves the pieces. So when you look at the actual board right now, you can see that they're rounding out. I think Blue's about to win. I'm not the best chess player.
no, Tan's about to win. Right now, Tan has more pieces on the board and higher material pieces too. They have the queen, the bishop, and the king. And the blue only has a pawn and a king.
Grand Central Madison just opened their $11 billion terminal last week. And while you may never be commuting from Long Island or Queens to see it, I still encourage you to check out some of the hidden gems inside. This is the longest escalator in the entire MTA system, going 15 stories underground in 1 minute, 38 seconds. This doesn't feel as steep as the 7 next to Hudson Yards does. That feels a lot more vertigo-inducing.
You know, there's actually 4 sets of these escalators that are all the same length, going from 47th Street to 43rd Street.
Right on the Madison Concourse, you run into Yayoi Kusama's mosaic. It is absolutely beautiful. It's called A Message of Love, directly from my heart into the universe. And it's meant to evoke the themes of love, universe, and peace for all mankind. I don't even know what this is, but it reminds me of the vessel.
It does, yeah.
There are 5 different Kiki Smith mosaics on this concourse, and they're all animal themed. They're bringing some nature underground here in New York City. Midtown Manhattan's known for 2 things, tourists and commuters, but it has some amazing cheap eats. You know the rules, $10 or less. We'll be eating pizza, halal food, pastries, and even grilled cheese. You don't want to miss it. One thing we've been sorely lacking in this series are coffee shops. 10,000 Coffee is a brand from Sydney, Australia. They've just opened and they've been super busy. I love the modern minimalistic feel here. You can tell they're concentrating on the most important element, the coffee. You even have bean cards here where you find out the exact details of the coffee blend you're about to drink. Let's do one of the espresso cream lattes with honey cookie. The other will be a panela latte. Then we'll do the Columbia pour over. The cool thing is if you order any of their signature coffee, it comes with a pairing menu and you get a free sweet on the side.
Best latte ever. It's sweet. I like that. I'm not an expert at coffee, but I think I can tell when I love a coffee and when I don't, and I really, really love this one. Like, it's really, really good.
The amount of effort that the staff puts in to make each and every one of these coffees, absolutely impressive. Well worth the price. Espresso cream latte, a little chocolate on top, and I'm gonna take a bite of my little honey cookie after. It's got just like the little hint of chocolate flavor. This is pure art. I don't know if I've ever enjoyed an iced coffee more in my entire life. Seriously, if you are a coffee aficionado, owe it to yourself to try this. So for a little extra, I bought myself a croissant too. And we're not that far from Times Square.
This should be your first coffee in New York City.
We're talking about first pizza?
Yeah.
This could be your first coffee in New
I
York.
have to say, I always drink my coffee really slow. Sometimes it gets cold. Look at this, like I can't stop drinking.
It's true, I live with her.
It's quite an experience. I think this is the first black coffee I've had that didn't make me go, you know, like when you go like.
65 degrees in early March. This day is an absolute blessing. To be spending it doing cheap eats, it's just like icing on the cake. This one's a little bit of a no-brainer since the Empire State Building is right across the street. Oh, it smells so good. Can I get 1 grandma, 2 cheese? Little Italy Pizza has the exact same owners as Bleecker Street Pizza, and you all know that's my favorite pizza spot in the world. I've actually been here a couple of times, love the spot, got the margarita slice right here. Looks a little bit like the Nonna Maria for my Bleecker Street Pizza fans out there. You can tell they're in the Bleecker Street Pizza family because the marinara sauce on top, very similar to the tomato sauce on the Nonna Maria, and this crust is so flaky. I'm usually not someone that compliments the crust of a pizza when I take my first bite, but wow. You're in Midtown Manhattan, Little Italy Pizza, you can do a lot worse for your first New York City slice. This is fantastic.
This is what I imagined when I saw the Ninja Turtles pizza. It's so good. I'm in my happy place.
I'm trying the famous grandma slice, which is what they're known for at Little Italy Pizza. Like Nonna Maria style, but on the Sicilian. It's like a really thin, flat crust. Very different from your traditional Sicilian that you'll get in New York City, which I always feel like is more puffed up. Really unique, and again, I know the owners here, I know the ingredients they use. It's really good. All right, let's get one classic. Got the goods. I've been to Melt Shop many times before. I know the quality of this spot. Got 5 locations in New York City. And in order to keep this cheap eats, I had to get the classic Melt, American and cheddar cheese on white bread. Now, many of you ask Adriana and I, how do we stay so slim doing all these cheap eats videos? I'll tell you how, by splitting stuff sometimes. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's something that's so simple, but they have really high quality cheese. They're American and they're cheddar. It's just simple, just simplicity here that works.
It's so crunchy. I really like that. This is definitely one of my favorite things of US.
Really, what are some other American foods that you're into outside of grilled cheese? Now I'm curious.
I like chicken and waffles.
Okay.
I never thought about that combo before, and it's so good. Mac and cheese is also really good. I tried it in Mexico before, but that's American. I really like that too.
They do grilled cheese here, they do mac and cheese here. You want a slice of the United States? No pun intended, come here. Empire State Building pointed to pizza, Radio City Music Hall points to some amazing halal food. Everyone's always talking about the halal guys. I say give Adele's here a look instead. I always know it's a good sign when there's a long line forming. If it was your first time, what would you recommend I get?
Probably. If you get the spicy rice, I would get the sauce on the side.
Combos?
You like yellow rice or spicy rice?
What do you think? Spicy?
How adventurous do you feel like?
Feeling adventurous. What I find funny is that a lot of tourists think that hot dogs are what the local New Yorkers eat. No. Halal food, a combo rice platter like this is real New York. This is what the locals are actually eating. Lamb, little pieces of pita, chicken in here, spicy rice, some lettuce, and it is just absolutely drenched, and I mean drenched in white sauce. Big bite. A yogurt sauce, so creamy, so much flavor. Spicy rice doesn't feel too bad. I didn't put any hot sauce on it. How much better does it get than this? They got Radio City Music Hall right across from us and some epic street food. Oh, man. Where has Adele's been my entire life? They didn't know we were coming. They had no clue. They didn't pay me to say this. This is some of the best halal I've ever had in my entire life. Oh, honestly blown away. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is. Knowing New Yorkers and seeing a long line like this of non-tourists, I'm not surprised. When you see a long line of locals in New York, you know something's up. Oh my God. Oh. Wow.
You can tell when John really likes something because he raises his eyebrows and then he goes just one knock. He's like, oh my God, this is so good.
My brain short circuits, yeah. Insider tip, you want a nice dinner to bring back to your hotel room in Midtown? Stop by here, $9. You'll feast like a king. Thank me later. Times Square has more tourist traps than any other spot in New York City. You know, the kinds of places where locals only go if they've got friends or family visiting. Today, I'm gonna be checking out as many of these places as possible to see what the hype's about. Madame Tussauds, the world's most famous wax museum, 26 different locations, and an admission charge of $47. Every time I've ever walked by here, it's jam-packed. Never thought I'd actually go in, but today, we're gonna make it happen. This is pretty much the most touristy thing you could possibly do in New York City. I mean, I'll put this as #1. After I've seen the movie House of Wax, I could never look at one of these again and not think that he's real. I'm tired of seeing all these mainstream celebrities here. Where are the YouTubers? Wait, that looks just like Action Kid, the New York City live streamer, but I thought he moved to Miami. How did he get a wax dummy here? He's so lifelike. Wait, he has a microphone? Is it on? He's alive. How did you get here?
Madame Tussauds hired me. This reminds me of like the memojis from iPhone.
You know, Jimmy, funny story. I actually wasn't planning on being a YouTuber. This stuff happened by accident.
You know, Wendy, I moved to Miami and it was a big mistake. It's boring there. It's all everything but the beach.
So this is the closest you'll probably ever see Obama and Trump again.
Well, this is cool, man. I mean, you got the actual New York City subway staircase, the tiling, the lettering for the subway. Can't get any better than this.
Hi. This is just like a completely manicured world of New York. Like you could actually just go out and experience it yourself too if you want. This guy's hiding here.
Oh my gosh.
Evil subway worker. Why is he over there in the corner like that?
Creating special effects here.
He's so tall. So my issue with this spot is that it's just a lot of tourists who buy those attraction passes and they just check off all the lists of places they have to go. It was interesting, but for New York City, I think there's so many more authentic places you could go to for 2 hours. Every single New York City tourist trap in one block.
Oh, wow.
Bubblegum shrimp. I never in a million years thought I'd actually be eating here. Based off one of my favorite movies ever, Forrest Gump. Their fictional company became a national restaurant chain, and that happy hour is calling my name. Let's see if we can turn a tourist trap into a little hidden gem. All right. Feels like I'm entering Applebee's. I'll do a margarita. You want a margarita? One garlic bread, one popcorn shrimp, one Bubba's dip.
Yeah, I'll get those started for you.
Let's do it. I don't know how much alcohol is in here, but for $5, I was expecting half cup size here. Cheers. That's not bad, actually. I do think it's a little bit maybe diluted, but...
Popcorn shrimp.
All right, here.
Gotcha. How about the dip?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I got it. Action, you ready? Let's try this?
Yeah, let's try it.
Bubblegum shrimp, the namesake. We gotta try some popcorn shrimp.
Popcorn shrimp.
$6 happy hour. Ready? That's not bad.
Oh,
It's not bad at all.
it's actually pretty good.
I'm surprised.
Good amount of shrimp in there.
You know, if you're stuck in Times Square for whatever reason, between 3 and 6 p.m. during the weekdays, this is a pretty interesting deal.
Oh, it's fresh, full of spinach and tomatoes. Not bad. For the price, $6. If I was in Times Square for a long period of time and didn't know where else to eat, this is a decent place to come.
So if you're watching this and you're planning a trip to New York and you're wondering what's not a tourist trap in Times Square, we actually just released new guides to New York City. We've got a dedicated Times Square Midtown guide, a mix of attractions and places where you may be the only tourist. They've got maps, audio guides, written blurbs. I curated all of it, 50% off, limited time only. See the link down below in the description. It's like having me in your back pocket. I think the butt of every Times Square joke is saying eat at the Olive Garden. Well, that's exactly what we're about to do. There's over 900 of these in the United States. This is the only location in Manhattan. It's kind of iconic that it happens to be right in Times Square. We got a 15-minute wait for the Olive Garden at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday. This is exciting. I've never taken an escalator to go into an Olive Garden before. I used to dine at the Olive Garden when I lived in New Jersey. Little known fact, before I was adventurous with life. By sheer luck, we have gotten the corner table where I can see Times Square, and if this was New Year's Eve, I could even see the ball drop from here. People would pay probably $1,000 for this table on December 31st.
This is amazing, man. That's probably the best view of Times Square right here.
So we were just completely unoriginal. We literally ordered off the front pictures. Tour of Italy, chicken Alfredo, chicken and shrimp carbonara.
Yeah, real original, but let's see how they taste.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I haven't had an Olive Garden breadstick since Obama was president. Right.
Okay.
It tastes exactly the same. Exactly the same.
I think it's pretty good. It's got butter on it, crunchy.
I read a cool fact about the Olive Garden. They give you one more breadstick than amount of people in your table. So we got 4. Because they had a problem with too many people wasting breadsticks.
Tastes like airplane food.
First class or coach airplane food. There's a distinction there.
business class airplane food.
Okay.
That's what it tastes like.
We got my chicken Alfredo. I don't know if it's really promising just looking at this. Kind of questioning what life decisions led me to this moment, but here we are at the Olive Garden in Times Square. Let me try a little chicken, a little Alfredo sauce, a little pasta. You know what? Chicken's actually not as dry as I thought it was going to be from the looks of it. At least the view's nice, huh? It's the Olive Garden. Yeah.
There's a chicken and shrimp carbonara. I gotta mix everything in here. Shrimp wasn't as good as bubble gums. It was a little bit more mushy. Chicken, the same, but at least it's not dry compared to what John's. I'd rather have my dish than John's.
I think my issue with this is it has like no personality. It just tastes like a chain restaurant's pasta. I'm not trying to bash Olive Gardens nationwide because I know there are many fans of the Olive Garden. I just think that the New York culinary scene is so deep and diverse that even in Midtown you can find a lot of interesting restaurants. And this is the tourist equivalent of seeing the Golden Arches for fast food. Like, oh, Olive Garden, we have that back home. I know what that is.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with you, John. There's a lot better options here than Olive Garden and Times Square for sure.
I'm trying to think if I've had a worse Italian meal in New York. I said I didn't before, now I'm starting to reconsider that statement. I can't think of what was worse.
Olive Garden.
I'm sorry. I will give them a big compliment. They had super fast and efficient service, so the waiters and the staff were fantastic here. The food at the Olive Garden is the way the food at the Olive Garden always is. There is something special about Times Square when the sun sets, really.
Anybody in the mood for Halloween early? Oh. I smell candy all over the place right now.
Smells like candy, yeah.
It smells like sugar in here.
I've been to the M&M store a few times with Adriana. This is a tourist trap that's actually kind of cool. This isn't something you can find every day, and I think they have cool souvenirs here. Plus, look at all these flavors. I don't think you're gonna find this in your random street corner in Pennsylvania.
I know, even from a chain store like CVS, those M&M packets, how many flavors are gonna have, honestly? You know?
Oh, look at the Statue of Liberty. 1995. Cool souvenir. Oh boy, it fell. Well, every time Action Kid's in my video, he drops something. And it's not the first time Action Kid has dropped something on my video.
Oh shoot. Folks.
We really cannot take this guy anywhere.
It's the microphone cable. Dragging off someone's backpack strap.
Really useful tip, on the 3rd floor, one of the rare public bathrooms in all of Times Square. Midtown Manhattan, the heartbeat of New York City, but not exactly known as being cheap. Today, we're gonna change that. I'm gonna be sharing some of the best lunch specials in the Times Square area, all around $10. You're gonna love this. Here we go. The only thing I'm missing is a co-host. Hey Ben, you eat lunch?
Lunch? Sure.
The whole area around Rockefeller Center is full of food trucks during the week, during lunchtime, but there's one in particular I want to highlight. For $10, a flame grilled steak.
Our part is like upper Thai style. It's like a classic steak that we have a big pieces and we slice the meat for you. All of meat we marinate already.
Thank you so fast. Oh, it's amazing. Thank you. $10, and it feels like I've got 5 pounds of meat here. We have the steak, lots of mayo on top, French fries, and some veggies on top of a bed of rice. This is a heck of a value for $10 if you have cash. $10. All right, big bite. I can taste the marinade, like I taste it right away. With the mayo on top, the flavor just complements it so well, wow.
This is the basil steak, and I got the spicy mayo. And I see there's some vegetables here too that they added. So I'm gonna give this steak a try. Wow. You know how people say this is my cup of tea? This is my bowl of rice and steak. This is good.
It's amazing because we are standing in the exact same location where Adele's, my favorite halal truck, opens at 6. It's good to know that there is an amazing lunch option in the exact same spot. All right, I think our next stop is this way, but our newborn's about 2 weeks old, so I'm a little sleep deprived. We totally could get lost. This is the kind of place that if you blinked, you would miss it just walking down 51st Street. But a lot of you have mourned the loss of Aquario Cafe, the fabled $5 Midtown lunch special. Well, Zorali has amazing Dominican food, not much more expensive. Let's check it out. Can we just do the beef stew for 10? Yeah, I'd love one of those. It's pouring rain and there's a line out the door for this. The first thing we gotta talk about here is the value for $10. I mean, a lot of beef stew. We've got some plantains, yellow rice, and black beans. I think this could feed 2 people in a lot of cases.
Definitely.
I want to take a big bite here of this beef stew. Take a bite too. Let's try this at the same time. It melts in my mouth.
Yeah, that sauce. That sauce is really good.
I'm remembering Aquario Cafe. They didn't have seats like this though. We're under a tarp. It's pouring rain. We're sitting outside eating food that I think if you went to a sit-down Latino restaurant would be 15, 20 bucks.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, I think what impresses me most about this dish is that we have so many different ingredients going on. It's not just beef stew and rice. It's not something simple like that. We've got about 5 different things on top.
All I could think of right now having this is just like, everything is genuine, you know?
Yeah.
As real as it could get. All the locals love it.
Oh yeah.
The people in the kitchen are Dominicans, and
even though we're drinking Coco Rico, which is from Puerto Rico, so having a nice Caribbean lunch here, this is just $1 extra. We're like, I don't know, 12 minutes or less by foot to Times Square, and it's a completely different vibe here. And they were super nice in there, by the way. Like everyone there, I think, knew how it worked, what they wanted. The lady explained it to me very calmly, what the lunch specials were. So depending when you come, it could be a different lunch special, but I say go for it.
There's something with just beef stew too, you know? It's just like, it's hot, it's cheap, it hits the spot.
Yeah, beef stew, melts in your mouth. A little bit of a colder day. We're entering the fall right now. Got my medium jacket on for the first time. Yeah, this is perfect. This is a lunch I'm not gonna forget anytime soon.
This might be low-key a local favorites because it's like even this van right here, like the people inside, they're probably just on their break and they're eating the same food from Zorali's.
If you're watching this video, you probably love cheap eats. I've got good news. We just released our newest Manhattan Cheap Eats guide where I just dump all the info from my channel, the best cheap spots we've ever covered and more into one guide. Just by purchasing this guide, you are gonna save a fortune on your trip to New York, knowing where to go to save money. We've got photos, reviews, audio, video, even GPS so you can see exactly where these restaurants and street food carts are. It's also updated in real time, so when we visit new spots that I think are worth it, I add it to the list and you get it for free automatically. Check the link down below in the description, 50% off, limited time only. It's amazing how many tourists stop at 8th Ave. They don't go one avenue over to 9th Ave, the beginning of Hell's Kitchen. This whole avenue is full of local restaurants where you'll almost never see tourists. This is one of my favorite restaurants in Midtown. I'm still convinced that Easy Paella has one of the best sit-down lunch specials in all of Midtown.
One of the things that makes Easy Paella different is we serve the paella in an easy way. So if you come here, just sit down, you probably have your paella served within the first 10 minutes. So you don't have to wait 45 minutes for a paella. We have very easy experience to try the best paella in town. Well, lunch specials here are great. We have sangrias, we have burritos, we have lunch-sized paellas, and now we're gonna have arepas.
One of my favorite things about a spot like Easy Paella is like small,
family-owned business. This is the lifeblood of the New York City culinary scene. Places like this, love the Venezuelan Spanish fusion, and Alex said he's not positive, but he believes this is the only paella burrito in the entire world for $9.95 during lunch specials. You're trying something pretty special here. What really does it for me is how unique it is to have a burrito shell with the paella rice. Never had that before, and somehow it just works out brilliantly. Love the flavor, love the chicken, so much going on. It's like the perfect marriage. Paella burrito. Less than $10 for this.
Paella in Latin America and in Spain is the reason to celebrate. Birthdays, Father's Day, why not? Paella is the main dish.
Look how big this sangria is, passion fruit for $5.95.
Well, if you have a group of 6 people or more, we have the best place to celebrate your birthday because the birthday person gets to eat and drink for free.
I did want to note they have vegetarian options here, vegetarian burritos and vegetarian arepas. This is new to the menu. Black bean, Venezuelan cheese. I've actually never tried this here before. Take a nice bite. Wow. If it ain't messy, it ain't right. Ben the cameraman, hashtag.
This is kind of spicy, actually.
He told you not to put too much. Ben, you are not listening. I like this. You just put the whole thing. All right.
It's spicier, but it's so good. It's worth the pain.
You gonna hose him off?
Oh. No, not yet, not yet.
If you come here, eat a meal, and say you saw Easy Paella on Here Be Barr, he will give you either a free sangria, a free wine, or a free tapas. Any one of those 3. Try it. Times Square, New York's biggest tourist trap. But can you actually find good food here? Today, our challenge is to find out. Now, it might not look like much from the outside, but Margon, half block off Times Square, one of the best hole-in-the-wall Cuban restaurants in New York City. This place is no secret, I will tell you, to locals. Locals know about this spot. And you eat a lot of Cuban food in Miami now, right?
That's right. I mean, the standard in Miami is Versailles restaurant. They make some pretty good Cuban food, but let's try it in Times Square.
Just one Cuban sandwich? Can I also get 3 Cuban coffees?
3 Cuban coffees?
Yeah. These are strong, right?
No idea. I can't wait for these coffees.
Need an energy boost. This is no ordinary Cuban sandwich. This is special. For meat, we've got roast pork, ham, salami, melted Swiss, mayo, mustard, garlic sauce, toasted bread. What else could you ask for? Yeah, let's try it.
Let's see how it compares.
It's so meaty. I've been through 3 different layers of meat there. The salami, the roast pork, and the ham all at once. Paired with that mustard, nicely toasted bread. That's a good experience. I'm enjoying this.
It took me a good 15 seconds to chew through it all. There's so much meat in this thing, man. But the garlic sauce, the mayo, mustard, I think really makes it. Overall, a great Cuban sandwich.
If you're a carnivore, you're gonna love this place. They have plates too that you can get. You don't just have to get a sandwich. You can get a pretty big lunch for about $14. Oh, what is that?
Try this.
Oh, thank you.
Shrimp ceviche.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
So they saw us filming. I didn't tell them we were coming, and they're gifting us shrimp ceviche. I love ceviche. Let me try. Good flavor. It was a lot fresher than you would expect to get in New York City. Do you feel like this is, I'll use a big word, the antithesis of a Times Square restaurant?
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't think there's a place in Times Square. You would think it's a chain restaurant, so the only thing around here.
We are going to be hitting some chains today. It is Times Square, but I feel like I had to show you all a spot that locals actually go to. In fact, looking around, I don't think I saw a single tourist in here. Right off Times Square, half block away, surrounded by these big restaurants, big flashy spots, you got Margon, which has been here like 50 years. Starting off the challenge on the right foot. All right, this coffee is dangerously addictive. Ready to explore more of Times Square. Jollibee opened in Times Square just a few months ago, and there's now 3 of these in New York City. This is no ordinary fast food chain, trust me. Super famous in the Philippines and all over the world. I don't think I've ever been to a Jollibee in the US that did not have a long line. Interesting fact, there's actually a Jollibee across the street from Port Authority, like 5 minutes away. Let that sink in. 2 Jollibees in Midtown. Amazing Ben worked at Jollibee in Virginia. How do you feel walking into this shop?
I feel proud, honestly. It's almost like the ultimate Filipino immigrant thing to do in America is to work at Jollibee, you know? I'm very proud to have been part of it.
Proud to be Filipino.
Definitely.
I would like a 2-piece chicken joy with a side of white rice, a Jolly spaghetti order, and I want to get a peach mango pie, and then 2 more of the pineapple juices. This isn't the first time we've included a Jollibee on the channel. We filmed at the one about 3 blocks away a couple times, and I've had a lot of viewers surprised at me for including this. They're thinking like, why would you include some random Filipino fast food chain on your New York guides? And I always tell them, this is different. This is not that common around the world, and people are addicted to this fast food, myself included. I love their chicken joy. So we got a 2-piece. I'm gonna have one. Action, could you insist it on the Jolly spaghetti? Why?
Yeah, because it's a little bit different, and you really can't find this anywhere like in an Italian restaurant. Who puts hot dogs and spaghetti together, you know?
It's also sweet. It's an acquired taste, I would say. It's not for everyone. I'm a fan of it, but I have had people say they don't like it. Here we go.
Here we go.
Crunchy and crispy and not that spicy. It's got a little kick to it I'm feeling right now, but I've never gone wrong with a chicken joy ever. What about yours?
Definitely very savory, sweet sauce, hot dogs. I mean, we just feel good eating this.
I've always felt that a kid, like children, would find this spaghetti interesting. If you want your children to try something new in New York, maybe sweet spaghetti like this would work.
Yeah, definitely. I like it.
I want a bucket of this next to Adriana, my wife, watching Netflix. The perfect like binge TV food to have this.
And there's a reason why this chicken scored high in our fried chicken food test.
Yes.
We had Jollibee on that.
Dedicated Asian fried chicken video we did, it scored quite highly. I'll put this over any of the American fried chicken chains like KFC. Like, I'm sorry, I picked Jollibee.
All right, step 1, spoon and fork. You gotta use your spoon as a knife, just like so. Now you gotta take this piece of chicken, dunk it into the gravy, prepare your bed of rice, put the chicken on top. Woo. Make sure it's dripping in gravy, see? And then for the bite. That's how you do a chicken joy. It's a 3-part series, chicken rice gravy.
People rave about these peach mango pies. I mean, this is actually my favorite thing at Jollibee. I don't know what it is, but this skin is so good. It's like super flaky, unbelievable. I feel like I'm in heaven right now. I would have a whole lunch just peach mango pie from Jollibee.
Kind of jealous right now. I'm kind of jealous. If you're visiting New York and you're gonna be in Times Square and Midtown a lot, check out our latest guide to the area. We've got maps, suggestions, a lot of what's in this video is gonna be in that guide, and a lot more, link in the description. This is an absolute viewer favorite, Los Tacos #1. You know how Shake Shack got started in New York and spread all over the US? Well, this is one of 5 Los Tacos #1s in the city, and one of my favorites. I have seen lines lasting 30 minutes before, at least during like the lunch rush. Right now, it's pretty chill, and by far the best taco you're gonna find in the Times Square area. No ticket, no taco. Look at that trompa right there. Humongous. Con todo, right? Con todo. This place never gets old. This never gets old. The price has slowly but surely gone up on these. These are close to $5 a taco, but I will give a pass to any spot that's right next to Times Square because the rent here is ridiculous.
I know, I mean, considering its location, I mean, $5 a taco.
I think they're worth it. I think they're personally worth it.
Well, we gotta bite into it, see if it's still worth it.
See if it's still good. Here we go, con todo, adobada. Now I know what people are thinking, well, this is really expensive, but having my wife from Mexico eating many tacos in Mexico, maybe they're $1 there, but they're half as big. You get so much meat in these tacos. Again, I'm not saying this is cheap per se, but one of these tacos right now, like I'm starting to feel it. They're heavy.
Yeah, they are. You really feel like all the pork in here. The pineapple's a nice touch. I mean, you gotta get it con todo when you get it here. Cilantro, onion, salsa, guacamole.
Yeah, salsa's a little spicy depending on your tolerance. Maybe you don't want to ask for it, but this is excellent. I love their handmade tortillas as well. I think that's something that really sets them apart. I don't know if you agree, but I feel like the New York Mexican food scene is really on the rise. We were always second, third fiddle to Chicago, LA, but New York's up and coming.
Yeah, I feel it. I mean, years ago, you can never find a place like this in Manhattan.
No, definitely not. So Los Tacos is starting the right trend here, but now it's all about like the birria tacos popping up everywhere.
That's right.
And even Mexican spots that didn't have birria in New York now have birria. This Krispy Kreme is so big, you can see it 2 blocks away. This is the world's largest Krispy Kreme donut, and it's bright, it's loud, it fits perfectly into Times Square. It's also the busiest Krispy Kreme donut in the world, and I've never been here before. So I'm finally knocking this off the list. AK, have you been here?
No, never. I mean, I pass by it all the time, but I never thought to go in here. I was like, it's Krispy Kreme, but...
I'm a Dunkin' Donuts guy, but let's see if I change allegiances after this. And by the way, they have 24-hour pickup at their walk-up window. I don't know if any other Krispy Kremes in the world offer that.
See where it all begins. Look.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I love the open layout. Look at all that glaze getting dropped. If you're a Krispy Kreme fan, you can, complete the experience by buying a t-shirt. 25 bucks, that's not terrible. Wanted to do a 3-pack of the original glazed, and then I wanted to do a 3-pack of the custom assorted. I do strawberry ice glaze with sprinkles, chocolate cream, and then one of the Oreo cookies and cream. I'm gaining weight just looking at this, man. This is like a really touristy experience that I'm happy to be trying. Oreo cream donut, original glaze.
It's been a while since I had Krispy Kreme.
Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. Once I got to the cream filling of the Oreo, that's when I got satisfied with it. Not bad. Not the best donut I've ever had in my life. I won't lie to you. But interesting. What about yours?
Yeah, I mean, John, you really gotta try this original glaze. It's fluffy. It's got the sugar on it. I mean,
you talked me into it. I love glazed. Much better for me. Yeah. You can see that they really specialize in this donut, and they're going to do it well.
Yep.
Buy the Cuban coffee from Margone. Come here for one of these. Dunk that in there.
Oh.
That's a morning. That's a breakfast.
That's what you gotta do.
All right, great debate. Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts? What do you go?
Krispy Kreme.
I need to try more to give you a proper answer, but leaning Krispy Kreme right now. I'm gonna come back someday, have more flavors, give you a final answer. With over 100 million users, AI is here to stay. But can it plan your trip, saving you hours of research and maybe kicking me out of a job? We're gonna put it to the test and let AI control our entire day in New York City. Let me know what you think. All right, ChatGPT, let's see what you got. Hi, could you help me plan the best day ever in New York City? I want to explore Midtown Manhattan like a local, have some hidden gems, and not break the bank. Make it like that Barr guy on YouTube would. Start your day with a classic New York breakfast at Essa Bagel on 3rd Ave. This could be the longest line I've ever seen at a bagel spot, no joke. You can tell a place is legit when they have their own water. Could I get one sesame bagel with scallion cream cheese? No, thank you. You know, this is one of the biggest bagels I've ever seen in New York City, and I mean that as a sincere compliment, because I am such a fan of the big fat, doughy sesame bagel like we have right here. So let's see. That's good. The bagel's nice, soft and doughy, but what I'm a huge fan of, scallion cream cheese. Maybe some of the best scallion cream cheese I've ever had before. This is a New York bagel. I approve this. I approve this ChatGPT, even pushing me to try a place that I've always wanted to go to. I'd wait 25 minutes in theory for this again, but granted, I would just place my order in advance. Does feel a little touristy maybe, but worth it. Head to Bryant Park, a beautiful park located between 5th and 6th Avenues to enjoy some outdoor space and people watching. You can also visit the New York Public Library located on the edge of the park, which is free and open to the public. All right, let's check out Bryant Park. This is a good idea, actually. I'm a huge Bryant Park fan. The nicest public bathroom in New York City is right there, for the record. Every single tourist needs to know that. Cleanest bathroom you're gonna find in New York. It's crazy, they had the Winter Village here for over 3 months. This is actually the quietest I've seen Bryant Park in ages. Still ice skate at Bryant Park. Best rink in the city, in my opinion. I'm gonna make a wish. ChatGPT didn't tell me to do this. I would put Bryant Park on any first-timer's itinerary to New York City. It's a complete no-brainer. It's really, really good choice. The reason all these kids are around this exhibit here on the first floor, this is the original Winnie the Pooh. And this is practically a museum in and of itself, coming to the public library. I don't visit here enough. These mosaics on the ceilings, it's a special place. People are studying. What's the best free museum in New York? One of my answers, New York Public Library. This one doesn't surprise me. Take a short walk to Grand Central Terminal, one of New York's most iconic landmarks. Walk around and admire the beautiful architecture of the building, and take a look at the famous Grand Central ceiling. Okay, sounds easy enough. Can't imagine how many first dates, relationships started here, waiting for their future husband or wife. And this is also one of the most popular tourist destinations in the whole city, because when you look up, you see the beautiful constellation ceiling, and that's what everyone's taking pictures of. Maybe the coolest location for an Apple store in the entire world up here. For lunch, head to Shake Shack, a popular burger spot located in Madison Square Park. You can grab a Shack burger, fries, and a drink for under $15. All right, this is where ChatGPT needs some work. Why go all the way to Madison Park when we're already in Grand Central and their dining concourse has a Shake Shack? I'm calling an audible here. We're gonna eat at the Shake Shack at Grand Central, save us time. Since Shake Shack was founded in New York City, this is one of the few fast food chains in New York that I always encourage my viewers to try. Get a single Shack burger, order fries. You have the half and half small. I feel like $1 million right now. $1 million. You know, it always looks bigger on the commercials and TV. Fast food of choice in New York City. Taste that grass-fed beef with every bite. I never do McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's in the city. Always do Shake Shack. I feel like every tourist knows this trick, but this is called the Whispering Gallery. You talk into the wall, and the person across from you can hear you loud and clear. Hit that like button if you're enjoying this video. So how did ChatGPT know my dentist is right across the street from here? Visit the Morgan Library and Museum, a hidden gem in Midtown Manhattan. The museum features an impressive collection of rare books, manuscripts, and artwork. Admission is $22 unless you come Fridays from 5 to 7 p.m. Pre-book those for free. All right, we're stepping into JP Morgan's private library. Wow. This may be one of the most beautiful rooms in all of New York City, maybe the United States. Even all the colors of the books add something to the decor here. So the Morgan is one of the only institutions in the world to possess 3 different copies of the Gutenberg Bible. And this is the first substantial book that was printed by movable type in the Western world. There was no photography back then, but you can be sure that this is what George Washington looked like, because it's actually a cast of his face. This is his study, red silk everywhere. Absolutely beautiful. Kind of place you probably could get some studying done. Morgan had artwork from antiquity to the Renaissance, Italian. Very fascinating. If you're a fan of this, I would say don't do the free admission because I was told it gets very crowded. If you come on a Friday afternoon, for example, it felt like we had the whole place to ourselves. Worth $22 easily. Check out the shops and boutiques on Fifth Ave, including some affordable options like Zara and H&M.
Take a picture?
Yeah.
We love your videos.
Oh, sure.
It's a Brazilian fan.
Brazilian, nice. I thought they wanted me to take a picture of them. I'm like, okay. This is the first retail H&M in the United States. I know a lot of you want some cheap clothing shopping. This is your place. Probably as cheap as it gets, $6.99 t-shirts, $6.99. This is the first time I've ever been to an H&M home, so they actually have a home goods section. $5.99 porcelain cup. We've been instructed to have dinner at Joe's Pizza on 14th Street, a classic New York pizzeria that's been around for 40 years. Their pizza is delicious and affordable. All right, another audible. There's a Joe's from the same owner right by Times Square, so we're waiting in this huge line for it. I've actually never been to this one. It could be the most tourist visited slice shop in the entire city. This is not the original Joe's, but I think it's even more popular. One plain slice? All right, Joe's Pizza, essentially institution here in New York City. First time trying the Times Square one. It tastes just like the one on Carmine. Love it or hate it, I do think this is your classic New York slice to go. It's not my favorite slice in the city, but I don't think all the tourists lining up for this made a bad choice per se, and I don't think ChatGPT made a bad choice. End your day with a stroll through Times Square, one of the most iconic places in New York City. Well, all right. Rule number 1 of Times Square, do not engage the costume characters. That's rule number 1, rule number 2, and rule number 3. I think there's more costume characters out than people right now. I'm not even joking. A very small part of me does enjoy Times Square for like 2 minutes, and that's it. You can even see the Times Square ball straight up there. I gotta give ChatGPT some credit. This was not a poorly planned day. It hit a lot of the big attractions of New York City. Who knows, maybe you're coming for video next. Today we're eating our way through New York City's newest food hall, the Hugh, with 15 restaurants and bars and cuisine from all over the world. It's just a 20-minute walk from Times Square. Is it worth visiting? Let's find out. All right, my first impressions are this is a museum that just happens to have a food hall. I absolutely love the calming aesthetic here. So many choices to work with. We're gonna do some Pakistani food to begin. Thank you. Because it's been such a cold winter, having all these amazing food options under one roof, it's like foodie heaven. 4 of their signature lamb chops, just coated with cumin, coriander, Pakistani spices. So you know this is gonna have quite a kick to it. I'm just salivating looking at this thing, guys. Oh, it smells so good too. You know, if you're into lamb chops with a little Pakistani flair, some spicy kick to it, you gotta try this. These are not your average lamb chops. This isn't something you normally order at a food market. This is something I would typically order at a higher end restaurant. I'm getting a kick out of this. We're off to a heck of a start. Oh.
Because it's juices. My mouth is watering already. Has so many flavors going on. I never had a burger like this. This is so good. The meat is so tender. I love everything about this burger, I swear.
It's so juicy, wow. Then you add the mint chutney to this. Like, it's definitely adding a lot of flavor and spice to a burger that I'm not really used to. I'm certainly happy about. This is what I love about food markets is everybody can be happy and you can try so many different places in one day.
These are so good that I just want to eat them until all I've got left is bone. People are always asking me what's something you should do on a rainy day, and today it's rainy, it's cold, it's windy. I always say go to a food hall, and New York's got plenty of them.
Makbar is a Korean ramen shop, and we are known for our classic ramen and our kimchi ramen.
Soju highball cocktail. I mean, it's like 3 o'clock on a Friday. How could you say no to that? My mouth just continues to water the entire time we film this video. Look at these little bulgogi buns. Mozzarella cheese, caramelized kimchi jam. It already sold itself before I even took a bite, but here we go. It's so savory. Oh, just like a party in my mouth. They're doing things with bulgogi that I've never tried before. I'm usually pretty traditional with my Korean food taste, but this takes it up another level, no joke.
This is an explosion of flavors in your mouth. Like you get one flavor first, and you get the other, and then you get all together. The bun is super soft. I'm in love with this.
You pour the broth yourself for the ramen. That way you know the noodles aren't going to be soggy.
So delicious, so good.
Fun fact about Adriana, she's obsessed with Korean food.
When you're with a bunch of friends, sometimes it's hard for you to decide what you want to eat. Like some people want one thing, some people want other thing. It takes forever. If you come to a place like this, there's always an option for everyone.
It's just like Lady and the Tramp, where we meet in the middle with our ramen instead of spaghetti.
Couples that eat ramen together stay together.
So this is basically food from Senegal, Nigeria, Ghana. So you have like a different combination of items with the rice. You have the stews, you have the black pea stew, and you also do have like salad bowls that you can mix with the rice. As protein, we do have chicken, we have regular grilled chicken, and we do have also chicken suya, which is like a little bit spicy.
First time ever in channel history, we are showcasing West African food. I've never even had West African food before. It's like a milky, sweet drink.
Baobab tree. It can live up to 100 years.
I'm being educated on food. I love this. Love it. West African salmon. It has a really tangy sauce on top. But I have to say that this is probably the healthiest thing that we're eating the entire day here. Maybe one of your healthiest choices. They call it, African superfood because for one, it's a mixture from Ghana, Senegal, and Nigeria, but also got your veggies, got your grains, black-eyed pea salad. There's nothing boring about this meal right here. Not only is it super healthy, but all the different flavors and spices is actually making me want to expand my horizons and travel a little bit more. Like medium maybe.
Give you the hot one. I want to see you try.
Careful.
Be careful.
Like tiny bit.
I don't want you to look like your shirt.
Tiny.
Oh my god.
How you feeling, Adriana? You're nervous for me? Put a tiny amount of the hot sauce on. Am I gonna turn the color of my shirt? Ooh. Yeah, it's there. And they also have their original location in Harlem. And I was saying before about these spots is a lot of these markets, the original is somewhere else. And you can try a lot of really famous restaurants under one roof, like we're doing right now. Bring a couple friends to the market. Everybody gets a dish from a different country, put it on the table, and share it. Expand your horizons. Remember when I walked in, I said this looks like a museum that has a food hall? The School of Visual Arts actually has an art display on the second floor, and you can sit here and stare at this lovely fork and spoon display. This exhibit here is all stuff from 1977 and 1978. Donut's heavy. I got the old fashioned. This is a cake donut with vanilla on top. Whoa. You just took the top? Could you just show people what you did?
I love this so much. Everything in this market is so good. Cream inside.
Just when you thought it was an amazing donut, it just blew your mind with some cream inside, which you didn't even see. I haven't even tried mine yet.
Best donut ever.
Really? Best donut you've had in your entire life?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta try this. What I like about this donut is it doesn't have an intense amount of sugar. It's just right. I kind of wish I could just dunk this in a cup of coffee right now. That would have actually made this perfect. We visited just 4 of the 15 different spots, but the Hugh answers that problem in the Midtown area. You don't know where to eat. You want to try a lot of different stuff with your friends, your family. Stop by. You will not regret it.
Tonight, we're going to show you around Manhattan's Koreatown, a small neighborhood that packs a serious punch. We're going to be joined by a local Korean culture YouTuber who's going to show us the best spots to have the perfect night in K-Town.
To the real life, everybody talk to the south in a line.
Dave, while neighborhoods like Little Italy and Chinatown get a lot of the attention from tourists, I kind of feel like Koreatown's a bit overshadowed.
A lot of people don't think about this area, and it's definitely one of the places that Korean Americans come to just get an idea of their hometown. It's on 32nd Street from 6th Avenue to Madison, and it's about like 2 blocks. Currently, there's over 200,000 people of Korean descent that are living in the New York area. And so that is a big amount of people. So to have this representation of K-Town is amazing.
Sweet cinnamon punch, Korean traditional beverage. You can get a lot of cool stuff in this store. Have you ever seen such a large kimchi selection anywhere in New York City than right here?
No, you will never see anything as big as this unless you're in H Mart.
It's the first time I've been here, I've really started paying attention to all of like the different offerings. I usually just walk right to the candy in the back. What's this? Can you tell?
Spicy chicken.
Spicy chicken. I love this.
Korean people love fried chicken. That's like one of the staples. Fried chicken and beer. So that's the main thing.
Soda ice cream?
Yeah. Have you ever like taken soda and just froze it and then eat it like a popsicle?
I have not.
Well, that's kind of what
Am I missing out? Am I missing out on this? You can basically have your own Korean barbecue experience at home. H Mart.
It's already seasoned and you can just put it on the grill right away. This one's spicy.
Dave, that line is insane.
Yeah, so H Mart's lines are always pretty long. Like it'll be like out the door usually.
Dave, one of your specialties is K-pop. Yes. And if you're a K-pop fan, Koryo Books is a must visit, right?
Yes, absolutely. So you have to come here if you want to get the latest or the most popular K-pop songs or albums. To encourage you to buy the physical CD, they'll include like books or they'll include posters or things like that in the CD. And so, you know, this is why it costs $45.
So there's literally an entire BTS section here.
2 shelves, I believe. I would say they're the biggest band in the world in
Period.
right now. Yeah.
Period. If you don't want records or books, there's just a lot of cute little gifts. If you want a cool New York City souvenir that's different, I would recommend this store for stuff like this. More BTS everywhere.
Well, I mean, I wasn't kidding. The craze is really big right now.
Yeah.
So you buy this thing, you get the songs, and then you get your free poster.
Is there any block in New York City that has more karaoke places than 32nd right here?
I cannot think of any, but probably not, honestly.
And karaoke is absolutely essential to Korean culture, right?
It's definitely a big part of Korean culture, and a lot of Asian cultures as well.
Yeah.
It's just like a fun thing to do. It's like a get together, and people always have fun.
See if we do it later. I don't know. I can't sing really well. Yoon Hyundai Galbi, we're on 36. Now we said that Koreatown was really centered around 32nd, but just a couple blocks away, there's still some amazing spots.
I heard a lot about Yoon, and Korean barbecue is definitely one of the best things to do in K-Town. It's a little off from the normal strip, but it's definitely worth the walk.
We are the one who invented the Hyundai cut, which is like diamond cut. So if you go to all the Korean barbecue restaurants, and if you see all these like the cuts like that actually was invented from my grandfather.
The nice thing about this restaurant is it's definitely a little bit more upscale, so it's a good place for celebrations, for dates, anniversaries. They have amazing cocktails. How do you say cheers in Korean?
So it's gunbae.
Gunbae. All right, gunbae.
So age is very important in Korean culture, right? So if you're specifically older than someone, you're going with someone who even is underage. If that older person tells you to drink, the younger person has to drink.
You're telling me if I tell Ben, who's like 15 years younger than me, to drink, he has to drink?
Yeah, he has to drink.
All right, Ben, get at it. Let's go. imagine this would be a little bit overwhelming if you've never been to Korean barbecue before.
Just on this alone, you would probably be full. They don't call these appetizers. These are side dishes. It's meant to be eaten with the meats.
Yeah. Bobby, the owner, was telling us that the meat they buy is actually from Nebraska because he said that the way they raise the cows out there is similar to the way they raise the cows in Korea.
It's very much meant to be a lot of people sharing it at once, and it's like a good get-together and all that stuff. All right, then you take whatever side dish you want. I'm gonna take a little bit of kimchi. This is like a staple, so you gotta do it. And then I'm just gonna put a little seasoning on. Cheers.
Half kimchi, half short rib. It's amazing. Finally, I learned how to properly eat at a Korean barbecue spot. So thank you, Dave, for actually teaching me some of the intricacies here.
In Korean etiquette, it's usually the youngest person is supposed to serve everyone else before they serve themselves, or they'll usually have someone serve the youngest person.
Never had kimchi stew before, but looks interesting.
Too spicy, or?
I can handle it. I mean, it's okay. I'm feeling a little heat now, but like something in the back of my throat. You know that feeling, like that was incredible.
So good. That was the best Korean barbecue I've ever had.
I love this market. I've been here before. I think this is such a hidden gem in K-Town.
It doesn't just stop on the first floor, so you'll have the second floor and the third floor.
And this is actually a lot more affordable than going out for Korean barbecue if you want something quick and really tasty as well.
And pretty authentic too.
2 of the Nutella taiyakis.
So this is called delamancho. So that is the Korean name. It means South Korean bread fish. And it's basically Japanese inspired. Did you get the Nutella?
All the Nutella, I completely missed all the Nutella there. One more bite. There it is.
So how was the bread? Is it sweet?
Soft, sweet, chewy. This is that gold you're looking for right there. Ooh. I think a lot of people don't realize from the street that K-Town actually goes up, that there's karaoke places and bars on the upper levels. You get karaoke, 2 different floors here. Sanitized microphones and a tambourine. You usually see this in karaoke booths, yeah?
All the time, yeah. But they also sell Louis XIII for $9,000 if you're interested.
Oh. You have to pour for me because you're younger, right?
Because I'm younger, yes.
Wow.
So
I like these rules. Ooh, that's good.
See, that's why it's dangerous, because it doesn't taste that strong.
Exactly. It barely tastes like alcohol, especially because it's peach flavored. I've had soju before. I need a little more of this to sing. All right, me and Ben. Ooh. There's only 2 ways I will ever do karaoke. 1, we need some liquid courage. 2, I have to be with at least 1 person singing at the same time because then nobody's concentrating on how bad I sound. I can feel the tension. We had cut it with a knife. I know it's more than friendship. I'm so bad. Sweet Caroline, da da da. Get caught in the rain. Into the midnight sun, around on my shadows, searching in the night. Could you imagine starting your New York City trip like this? Today, we're going to tour New York's new $1.6 billion train hall across the street from Penn Station in Midtown Manhattan. We'll show you all the cool features and even some hidden artwork. Is Moynihan Train Hall worth visiting? Let's find out. Members of the barrio, I am so excited to give you all a first look at Moynihan Train Hall, which just opened on January 1st. And for anybody who ever had to spend time across the street at the current Penn Station, this is like a breath of fresh air. They started construction on this in 2017. It's inside the old Farley Post Office building. I am just super pumped to check something new out in New York City this year. Let's get inside. Well, you can clearly see it's still very much under construction, and in this direction, it is still a post office. But that's probably not why you decided to come here. You gotta go this way. This was named after former US Senator to New York, Daniel Patrick Moynihan, who championed the cause of this train hall, and everything you see past here is just brand new. So the crown jewel of this train hall is the light-filled atrium, and let's take a first look at this. Wow. This is impressive, I have to say. You can see the clock in the center of the atrium, and you can just imagine how many people are going to be using this as a meeting point in the next 50 years. Also, this used to be the mail sorting room for the Farley Post Office, so you can imagine people were up here watching to make sure that the mail was being sorted properly. So this is our first time on the ground floor here. The very first thing I see is a Starbucks. We're going to ignore that and look this way. Now that the sun is out, we can really appreciate the 92-foot high glass skylight. And this is what's going to be the big tourist attraction here, and it's already turning a lot of heads behind me. Everybody's stopping and looking up. A lot of people don't realize this, but this station was modeled after the original Penn Station, which was located across the street and was demolished in 1963. They wanted to bring back that grandeur, that old school feel of using a public space and having it be open, inviting, welcoming. One of the big critiques of this train hall is that there's not any public seating on the concourse here. The only people that can sit are Amtrak customers, and I'll show you it right here. These are really nice. This is, you know, that classic Art Deco style. So if you're taking a train to Boston, you're gonna sit here in style. If you just wanna come and hang out, you've got nowhere to sit, at least for now. I just wanted to quickly show you guys what the tracks look like. Not bad. So this is where you would come down to take your train back to Washington, D.C. Could you imagine starting your New York City trip like this? I feel like a tourist for a second. That was cool. That was very cool. That was my favorite thing we've done so far today. That was fun, right? You want to do it again, Ben? If you're curious who's actually going to be using this outside of tourists who want to take photos, which it seems like everybody here is taking a picture. If you're taking LIRR or Amtrak, let's say you're going to DC, Boston, Chicago from here, this is going to be the new hub. Unfortunately, New Jersey gets the short end of the stick again. They're across the street at the current Penn Station. Sorry, Jersey friends and family, but... What may be the neatest part of this train hall I'm about to show you, there's two pieces of artwork that are hidden unless you look up. You have to know where to look. We're gonna show you both of them right now. You guys still don't see where this artwork is, and you wouldn't see unless you turned your head up right now. This artwork is called Go by Kehinde Wiley, and it shows breakdancers on top of the ceiling. It's almost like the Sistine Chapel look, and I think he's an amazing artist, and this is my favorite art piece in all of Moynihan Train Hall. I think a big fear of a lot of people was that Moynihan Train Hall was going to turn into a shopping center, like let's say the Oculus right now, all the shops in there, it's a mall. That's not the case. There is going to be a food hall, but I think the primary reason most people are going to come here, outside of taking pictures, is to take one of the trains. Behind me, where everybody's taking photos, are looking up at the Hive by Elm Green and Dragset. It's basically a city skyline backwards. Very cool. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Instagrammers here for sure. I wasn't planning on including this, but Ben, the camera guy, has to go to the bathroom, so he's gonna give us an insider report on if this bathroom is nice or not. All right, Ben, report on the bathroom.
It was really good. It was super clean and it's very modern. And you can use the footage where I was washing my hands. It's kind of cool.
Okay. I have to say, after spending about 30 minutes inside of there, I don't miss the current Penn Station across the street at all. But again, if you are taking the train to New Jersey, you're still gonna have to deal with it, and you're gonna have to take the subways inside of there as well. They do connect. New York's most popular street food is the Halal Cart, and today we're gonna be visiting the city's best reviewed halal trucks, all in Midtown Manhattan, to see if they're worth it. Now you might be wondering, what is halal? It's an Arabic word meaning permissible, and it means it's meat prepared by Islamic law. Now typically New York halal consists of some combination of rice, greens, and halal meat, either in a foil dish or in a sandwich. First stop, Royal Grill Halal Food, 4.5 stars on Yelp. If I could fly this man to California to live with me and cook me food for the rest of my life, I would. I was in New York for about a week, came here twice, once in the pouring rain and once in the freezing cold. Great food, nice people, underrated, huge portions. Chicken tikka is my go-to. I'll come here whenever I'm in New York. Way better than the overpriced Halal Guys chain food truck that charges $14 for a dry gyro. Wow, we've got some shots fired already on this video. I didn't say it, he said it. Let's check this out. Got my food expert Greg with me, and one of the amazing things about the New York halal scene is it's not all the same. They all have their own personalities, right?
Absolutely. Royal Grill's pretty famous. They won a Vendy Award, which nominates the best street food vendors in the city, and they're known for their chicken tikka. This is a really interesting, delicious dish. Yeah, one chicken tikka.
I don't want to eat this. This looks too pretty to eat. This is like a work of art. All those colors. So what do we got? Break this down for us.
Pretty much everything but the kitchen sink here. We have the chicken tikka, which is a very deep red color. You have the white sauce, which is like the yogurt mayo sauce. A little bit of the hot sauce, the green sauce, which is like a mint chutney, and also this mango pickle, which is a really kind of a secret thing you have to ask him for here. Now the owner is from Bangladesh, so it has that kind of Bangladeshi flavor in this plate.
All right, let's try it. This tastes like something I would order at a nice Bengali restaurant, not on the side of the street here in New York City. Wow, that first bite, that's a lot of flavor. That's a lot of spices.
Yeah, very punchy spice, and we haven't gotten to the rice yet. The rice here is also very special. Like spicy, creamy, you get that mango pickle, that minty flavor, the biryani flavor. It's got it all, this plate.
Dude, I have to say it, this might be the best rice I've ever had at a halal truck before.
It's up there for me, for sure.
Would you say the Halal Cart in New York is like the taco stand in LA?
I would say yes. I mean, halal carts have really taken over New York, I say in the last 20 to 30 years. It's overtaken the hot dog cart. I would even say it's overtaken pizza as the #1 street food. You know, I want to say pizza is a street food, but I say it's definitely by far #1 street food in New York City.
I just have one problem with this. This is our first stop, and I want to finish it right now. That's the only problem I have with this. This is unreal. This is absolutely tremendous. I'm shocked there wasn't a longer line for this. Quick Meal NYC, 4.5 on Google reviews. New York's exquisite streetcar experience, created by Bengali chef Mohammed Rahman, former Russian tea house chef. The spices are delicate, food is the best. Take your tasty meal for a sunny afternoon at Bryant Park. Once in a lifetime experience. As a native New Yorker, halal carts have become a staple of my diet. I visited halal carts that are terrible, meh, okay, and unforgettable. Quick Meal, unforgettable. Best halal food I've ever had in a while. Whenever I'm in the city, I always come for quick meal. Perfect for vegetarians too, and plenty of fish options to choose from. My vegetarian viewers, I'm looking out for you guys too.
So quick meal is a little bit more of a higher end halal cart. The price may be $1 or $2 more, but it's for good reason. The quality of the ingredients here. So we're gonna order the lamb over rice here. They actually use marinated pieces of lamb, not the minced mystery meat stuff.
Hello. How are you? How are you?
Hello.
Compared to Royal, quick meal is a lot simpler, and look, most of the sauce is actually on the side. So if you're someone that doesn't like a ton of sauce, I think this could appeal to you. All right, let's do it. This is high quality lamb, I can tell.
Absolutely. It doesn't have really bold, punchy flavors,
No.
but I don't think it's meant to. This one's meant to, I think, more showcase the quality of the ingredients.
You know, I would love this in like a gyro or a sandwich too.
Yeah, the white sauce, it's not even your classic white sauce. This is definitely more yogurt. It's more like a tzatziki, like a Greek yogurt. It's thicker, has more of a yogurt. I don't taste any mayo in that.
Yeah, it's not like a really strong flavor.
Yeah, it's very different than your typical halal cart.
This is for like the true meat eater, someone that just wants that lamb. You're gonna get your money's worth with this.
But I'll tell you what, they actually have salmon here, and it's shockingly very, very good.
Probably not something you would normally think of ordering in New York City.
Not typically, no, especially from a cart, but it's very good. The quality here is next level.
What's amazing about today's video is that everything here is right on Avenue of the Americas, 6th Ave in Midtown. So if you're a tourist watching, this is so easy to complete by yourself. But if you want to go more off the beaten path, this guy offers New York's best food tour.
I do in the most delicious neighborhood in New York City in Queens, a food tour. And my favorite halal cart in all of New York City is on that tour. So if you want to taste my favorite overall halal cart, and I've eaten at a lot of them, you can come and take my tour. We'll put the link in the description. We're about to go try the famous halal guys, and when a cart is as famous as halal guys, you have a lot of imitators, like this one, the original guys. Don't go here. If you want to try the halal guys, don't go here. It's very confusing because they even use the same color scheme.
You can see we found the original halal guys by the line. The halal guys, 4.4 on Google. Best food in Manhattan at a great price. You may need to line up and wait to order because all the locals do the same, and they know better than anyone. Oh my God, this was excellent. We got the beef gyro and the combination platter. Loved every bite. The white sauce was special. Guys were great at the cart. Loved it. All right, it's got the hype. We've got the OG of the halal scene in New York City. Halal Guys opened in 1990, and they were actually a hot dog cart originally by 3 Egyptian immigrants. Today, they've got 6 locations in New York City, 94 locations worldwide, with up to 400 more coming. They may be coming to a mall near you. We've actually returned to 6.5 Ave. If you saw my 10 Curious NYC Secrets video, this may look familiar, and it's a cool spot if you want a little hideaway to eat your halal guys. So this is something I don't really like about halal guys is they give you sauce packets. I would much rather they do it themselves because it's part of the experience.
Yeah, I mean, they're very corporate now at this point. They have all the branding on it. Just from the look at this, I say it really does need the sauce. The meat at first glance looks very dry.
I'll be honest, guys, this is my first time ever eating halal guys. I've been waiting years and years to try it. Here we are. All right, let's do it.
There's no flavor in that chicken at all.
You know, I don't dislike the beef with the sauce, with the white sauce and the red sauce. It's not bad. I'm gonna try the chicken. I think you're gonna like the beef a little bit more.
Yeah, the beef is definitely better than the chicken on its own, but not very good either.
Chicken's not really good. You know, I was thinking of an analogy for this. I'm not the biggest fan of Joe's Pizza, for the record, but a lot of people want to go there just to say they've eaten there. I would say going to Halal Guys, if it's on your New York City checklist, go for it.
Yeah.
But it tastes pretty mediocre to me. Like, it's not the worst I've ever had. I just don't think it's worth waiting in a super long line for.
No, this is a worldwide chain now. Even with the sauces, it's still not good. It's very bland to me. I don't like it. I think it's maybe one of the most overrated foods in New York City, I will say. Halal Guys. Maybe in the past it used to be better.
Yeah.
Sometimes the places expand, the quality goes down, but I don't even know. I went here 3 years ago and it tasted just like it did now. So you are gonna get consistency, but not in a good way.
Barr.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Me too.
Good one. Adele's 4.5 on Google reviews. My every week late night dinner, currently the best food in the city for me. Don't even think, just go here. It will be worth it. Normally a typical time to place order, stand in line 30 minutes, but definitely worth it. They work really fast. You know that if there's a line at 11 p.m., it's gotta be good, and the line doesn't lie. The guys working were fast and efficient. The chicken gyro was delicious. The chicken over rice, quite tasty. Same thing over the spicy rice makes it even better. This is my favorite spot, guys. I will say that up front. This has always been my favorite, and now Greg's gonna try it.
I spent at least 40 minutes in this line.
Wow.
It's insane.
It is.
107 people just waiting. It was only down to that pink truck down there.
Huh. That is crazy. Adele's hasn't even opened yet, and she wants to go right before her flight, right?
Yeah, so we have a flight at like 8 o'clock. It's almost 6 now, and there's not a lot of stuff. We gotta get it before we left, so.
Want to do the combo platter spicy rice.
Okay, you like some veggie, some broccoli, carrot?
Yeah. Give us the works. And this is about 5 pounds worth of food. So let's start from the top. They gave us French fries. They gave us falafel. Then we've got veggies, including broccoli here. We've got a mix of chicken and lamb. And if you can get to the bottom somehow, some way, we have their famous spicy rice.
It's actually better to use a spoon, but
This is messy. This is messy food.
That is good.
You know what it is for me? I think their white sauce. It's the best white sauce I've ever had in the city. There's a reason for those long lines, folks. I'm telling you.
I can see it. It's good. It's good. I definitely think it's good.
I just feel like the flavors for Adele's are a little bit more classical New York halal, which is why I would personally put Adele's in my top 5 must-visit food destinations in New York City.
Ooh, I just got a bite of that spicy rice. It's got a lot of flavor. I think it was kind of covered up by the meat.
It's growing on him.
This is very good. I would definitely come back. Ideally not at the end of that line, though.
I say it every time, but right in front of us we have Radio City Music Hall. It's such a cool New York City moment to even be here. I think the evolution of halal carts and how popular they become in New York is really a testament to the diversity of New York, because this was a food that was aimed at Muslim taxi drivers, and now all New Yorkers eat it. Many New Yorkers will tell you this is their favorite street food.
Yeah, and really something for everybody. If you like chicken, if you like lamb, if you're vegetarian, you can even get it with falafel, and quick meal, you can even get fish. And I do like that they all bring their own kind of spices, maybe depending on the background of the country, you know, Egyptian, Bangladesh, Pakistani, wherever. I appreciate that.
And I mean, let's think of like New York pizza. Every place has their own little take on it, just like halal. And I don't think halal gets enough love from tourists.
No.
Way more from locals. Members of the Barrio, today we're going to be exploring Hell's Kitchen, a neighborhood in Midtown just west of the chaos of Times Square, but a world away. We're going to show you where to eat, where to shop, and where to hang out like a local. You don't want to miss this.
Meet our guest, Billy Hipkins. He's worked on Broadway as a wardrobe professional for 30 years and lived in Hell's Kitchen for decades.
Billy, we're 2.5 blocks from Times Square, the center of New York's tourist universe, but Hell's Kitchen feels so much different. It's actually got a neighborhood vibe.
It's always been its own neighborhood with its own distinct, separate from all of that, just so close to us, feel.
Did I mention how hilarious Billy is?
That's my apartment right there.
What floor?
30th floor. Lived there for 31 years. And next time I move, it's in a pine box.
All right.
I said it the day
you went there, not me. This is Manhattan Plaza, and we have to talk about the importance of the performing arts to this neighborhood. Broadway is a couple of blocks away, and a ton of actors and people in the industry live in these 2 buildings, right?
Absolutely. The building is government subsidized housing. A huge percentage of the people in the building, I think it's a 60%, are people within the performing arts. Any division of actor, scene painter, musician, whatever that is you do. That's how I got into the building. You can make the argument that everything around this neighborhood has thrived and become the neighborhood it is because of the success of Manhattan Plaza.
Billy took us inside Manhattan Plaza for a surprise tour of one of New York's most famous apartment complexes.
I know actors that said they were begging us to move in, and I said, hell no, over there? And people are kicking themselves now. That's a tennis club. The traffic and the noise and the sirens are insane. I live right up there on the 30th floor, and I'll be in my apartment on the phone with the terrace door open, and friends are like, are you on the street? I don't hear it anymore. I've been there 30 years. I don't hear it.
Have you noticed when you travel to like upstate New York, a quiet location, that it's too quiet?
Yes, it's too quiet.
So I've had that same experience when I go upstate with my wife. We rent a little cabin. At night, I hear crickets, I hear birds, I hear things. I'm like, wow, like, where's the noise? Yeah.
Where's the noise? Yeah, no, I don't care for it. I start missing concrete real fast. Angela Lansbury used to live in here. Tennessee Williams used to live in here. Alicia Keys grew up in my building. Lawrence Fishburne was a nighttime security guard in the building.
If you're a fan of Seinfeld, you're gonna love this stop.
And as luck would have it, we are sitting in the booth where the idea for Seinfeld was conceived.
Absolutely. And this is also the booth where I spend a lot of time after shows, because after a Broadway show lets out, a lot of people that have seen shows will come over here to eat, but also those of us that live in the neighborhood and work here. If I want to meet a friend after a show and I don't want to go to a bar or something touristy or anything else, we'll meet over at Westway Diner, because it's the best diner food in the neighborhood, and I can just get a midnight omelet.
I grew up in North Jersey. Diners are life for me. I love like old school classic diners like this one, especially in Hell's Kitchen. Hit this up after a show for sure. Billy, there's a lot of talk these days that New York has become a lot more dangerous, but you lived here, literally you said on this block in the 80s when the crime stats were actually extremely high.
Yeah.
What was it like back then?
Well, there were certain blocks where if you want to get robbed or shivved, feel free to walk down that block. If you want to be safe, go one block over. It's picked up to the point where we're a safer neighborhood. We have just so much activity and life. I feel safe anywhere I am. Now, it's been different during the pandemic with people shut down. It was a little dangerous for a while there, but now it just feels like my neighborhood again. I go anywhere, I do anything. I can't go a block without seeing somebody I know.
Billy got stopped so many times he may as well have been the mayor of Hell's Kitchen, and I absolutely loved his choice for lunch.
Bulgogi beef mandu, and then one order of beef tacos from Ben. This is one of those ultimate lunch destinations, because when you go out with a big group, someone's probably a vegan, someone just wants regular American food, and then maybe someone wants something exotic. We've got all three here. I ordered Korean, you ordered a sandwich.
Absolutely. I never understood being a tourist going to another location and, oh, thank God they have an Applebee's. Why would you go to Applebee's? This is different than anything else we have in the neighborhood, and different than something you're probably going to find wherever it is you're visiting from.
Now for $7.95, a mango. Did I say mango? Mango. Where am I speaking English today? For $7.95, a mango sojarita. I mean, I had to try this. Oh, that's good. Put this in a cocktail glass at some snobby rooftop bar, and this would be $15. $7.95.
Yes, that's look at the presentation on that. That's my favorite. That's my jam. I love this.
All right, bulgogi, mandu, right here, beef. Let me take a bite. Really interesting lunch. Very eclectic choice here. Totally the kind of place that I would get behind, and I would be here all the time if I lived where Billy lived.
Let's make sure I'm not gonna get run over.
All right, amazing Ben. What are you thinking here?
Thinking about this Korean tacos right here. Bulgogi beef tacos.
Oh.
There's even rice. It's amazing.
Ben, you're like 2 inches from the curb here.
This could be my last meal.
Do you think Broadway's gonna reopen in September, or is this still up in the air?
I do think Broadway is going to reopen in September. The question is how? We cannot do Broadway unless we are this close, as you and I are right now.
Exactly.
You and I are vaccinated. Is there a guarantee everyone is vaccinated? How do you prove that? How do we do that? Checking everybody at the door, backstage, in front of house. Until those protocols are nailed down and announced, our unions will not let us work backstage, and until those are announced, what audience member would feel safe with the assumption that you're sitting this close to me safe?
Next up, one of the coolest gift shops I've ever been to in New York City.
You guys first showed up in the neighborhood. It changed everything, because as someone that was already living here, oh my God, a store that is gay-friendly and with gay merchandise, to get something for somebody for opening night or for the dressing room or on your way to a birthday party, it really changed everything.
Vladimir Putin, the lavatory mist, make problems disappear.
Here you have all your famous leading ladies, A to Z. It's an essential for every child. This comes from your gay uncle in New York.
We've determined these actually do not go on kittens. They just look like kittens.
You were the first one to ask. That's fantastic.
Texas loves you.
Yeah?
Totally Texas loves you.
Texas loves me?
Yeah. Good to see you.
A whole list of places that you recommend.
Texas loves me.
Let me introduce you to a damn good cookie place.
I am always about that maple bacon.
Maple
bacon?
Oh
my God,
cookie?
it's so good.
I don't know. I don't know.
You gotta try it.
I think I just want a classic chocolate chip.
Okay.
Call me old fashioned.
I definitely want a maple bacon.
I'd heard of Schmackery's before, never actually been here, and you were telling me that normally, before or after a Broadway show, there's a line out the door.
Oh yeah, 11 o'clock at night, there'll be a line 20 people deep of people that just say, hey, I'm talking here. They'll send Schmackery's to your stage door, and we all will lose our minds when a box of Schmackery's shows up.
I mean, this looks incredible. I think this is gonna be great. Let's take a bite.
All right.
The only thing missing is a little milk right now. It's the only thing missing from this to make it perfect, but
Right across the street in that coffee shop where he usually sits, I think that might be my friend, Tony nominee Max von Essen. In Hell's Kitchen, we're all sitting here side by side, the rich, the poor, the dirty, the famous. If you want to hear more of me running my mouth, I have my own YouTube channel. It is called The Also Ran. It is my daily ramblings about being a New Yorker all day, all night. Feel free to join me.
members of the barrio, Midtown Manhattan is known as a food wasteland, but it doesn't have to be. Today, I'm gonna take you to 5 cheap eat spots that are actually good. So whether you're a local or visiting, take some notes. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Normally, I need a co-host for a video like this. It's a lot of food. Ben, you hungry?
Let's see, food, I'm in.
1 cheese, 1 margarita, please. Thank you. You've got some big slices of pizza, folks. I mean, this is your first slice in New York City. I think absolutely an amazing idea. You just fold it, big bite, crispy, thin, so much cheese, so much flavor. For $4, it's an expensive slice, but it's gonna fill you up. It's a big New York slice. People are always saying that Joe's Pizza is the spot you have to go to in New York to get that Ninja Turtle slice, that classic New York slice. I tell them I prefer Pizza Suprema. Location, absolutely amazing. If you're going to a concert at the Garden, across the street, Moynihan Train Hall, we did a cool video about that. Man, I know you're in love with the margarita slice here.
Very much so. What is not to love? It's simple, it's beautiful, it's delicious, it smells good. I want to take a bite. Just gets me every time. My girlfriend actually, whenever she visits from Virginia, she hops out of the Amtrak from the station right across. We go right here. So it'd be like our first kind of like date in New York. Pizza for your first date in like New York City. How symbolic.
Romantic place, Pizza Suprema, who would have thought? I wouldn't go that far, but if she's a foodie.
I learned moving to New York, you gotta fold your pizza that way. The moment I folded my pizza slice was the moment I became a true New Yorker.
Oh, let's do deluxe, it's fine. We were here one of the first days this opened and there was a line down the block. It's so weird seeing this place so empty. Best fast food in Manhattan, you agree?
Best fast food in the Philippines for sure.
Best fast food in the Philippines for sure. Jollibee is no ordinary fast food chain. Jollibee is like a religion in the Philippines. There's only 2 of these in the entire state, so this fast food spot is pretty tough to find anywhere in the US, let alone right near Times Square. I imagine Italians hate this, but Filipinos love it. It has a certain sweetness to the taste, and I'm gonna take a bite. Temper your expectations for typical Italian spaghetti. Think of something sweeter, tangier, with carrot pieces cut in, and you have the Jolly spaghetti. and I like it. Now, I wouldn't compare it to Italian food, but I think for the price for $5, if you're in a rush, Jollibee is one of the most unique fast food chains you're gonna find anywhere. Going to Jollibee, I think, definitely checks off the adventure box, and the Jolly Spaghetti is always something that I go for.
Yeah, my first job ever in the United States of America was at Jollibee. Jollibee chicken sandwich. This is very new. They definitely did not have this when I was working there. Every bite reminds me of my childhood. Chick-fil-A, you better watch out because there's a new chicken sandwich in town. Your Jollibee experience wouldn't be complete without their classic pineapple juice. You know, I used to make this in the back of the store. I think the Jollibee store in Virginia went bankrupt ever since I quit.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, I also pumped the gravy, deep fried the fries, not the chicken because they didn't trust me enough for that.
The fake monks are back in action. Times Square heating up again. Gracias. We get 3 adobada tacos, please. Con todo. Always con todo. I have never seen this place empty after a dozen visits, ever. Get ready. Los Tacos #1 is the only spot in Manhattan that Adriana, my wife, loves going to as somebody who's Mexican and she knows good Mexican food. We got the adobada tacos, marinated pork, cilantro, guacamole, pineapple. Pure perfection, in my opinion, as far as the Manhattan taco scene is concerned, and a block from Times Square. Could it get any better for you? I don't know. The pork is like just the right amount of spicy, just the right amount of kick to it.
It's very strong, it's very rich. The flavor is just there. Definitely not what you would expect from a taco, you know, out here in the East Coast, I guess, but.
No, definitely not. What's the verdict? I think it means he liked it. The naked cowboys are multiplying right in front of our eyes. Yeah, 2 of the short ribs.
All right. So you want to place it in for to go?
Yeah, to go. Moment of truth. The handoff. Thank you. Special thanks to Anna, one of my Patreon members, for tipping me off to this place. Technically, we crossed over into Hell's Kitchen. This is about a 15-minute walk from Times Square. It's a little bit outside the Midtown boundaries, but I think it's worth the hike. Braised short rib with gravy and potatoes. Look at that heat just coming out of it. This is so good. Oh, I want to repeat that first bite over and over again. That feeling, oh my God, that's good. The meat is so tender and juicy. Awkward. The meat is just collapsing out of this. It's almost too much meat. This may be a contender for my favorite thing in this video, and I didn't think I would say that. This actually might be my favorite thing we've had today. Ben, I can't wait to see what you've got to say.
I'm gonna try it a bit differently than John. Same flavor, just different kick. When I say different kick, I meant like there's definitely a kick there. I like the hot sauce a lot. It doesn't take a lot from the flavor. It just adds the perfect kind of zing to it. It's crunchy, it's tasty, it's juicy. Is this what they eat in Colombia?
Yes, sir.
So I'd like to book my ticket ASAP. You'll be dancing to Shakira after a bite of this. I don't know. My hip's definitely alive.
Today we're gonna eat at some celebrity eateries in New York that have gained fame due to popular TV shows and see if they live up to the hype. We've got Gordon Ramsay fish and chips in the heart of Times Square. Now there are 4 of these in the United States. This opened back in December. Will it be worth it, or is it gonna be a kitchen nightmare?
To me, you run a hole of a kitchen yourself.
No,
okay?
No.
Off. Is this the kind of spot you 2 would normally eat at?
Not at all, actually.
I've never eaten fish and chips in New York, actually.
I don't remember the last time I ate in Times Square.
And Gordon Ramsay, what are you thinking about this spot?
Celebrity chef, let's see what he got.
Good cooking, angry guy.
And if you're curious, this has a 4.1 on Yelp.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
It's mediocre. For New York, I don't know.
The door looks like a phone booth, like the ones in London.
All right, my first impressions, I definitely feel like they're catering to tourists here, like this little fake British world. How are you? Want to get 2 of the fish combos?
Okay, 2 sauces for each, please.
I'll do Gordon's tartar, curry and mango for 1, and then let's do sriracha aioli and Gordon's tartar for the second. $47.86. All right, well, I have to say they dress it up very nicely. Like A for presentation.
This is a really nice, presentable box. Everything, the fish looks really fried, but it looks really good, actually.
What do you think about the size of the fish and chips?
It's pretty good, actually.
One of the biggest complaints here that I've heard is that you're paying $18 for each of these boxes. It's basically a Times Square tax. All right, let's try it. My big issue here, and this is an issue I saw in a lot of the articles written about it, doesn't have much seasoning. I think like these were made to be dipped in the sauces, and they really didn't want you to overdo it. I mean, yeah, I could add a little bit of lemon right now if I want. Maybe that'll help, but I didn't get a lot of flavor in that first bite. What did you think?
It was not flavored, but the fish is soft. I like the look of the fish, but I'm a sauce girl, so I always dip a lot of sauce for my food.
Go with the curry and mango. I think
That
this
sounds
is
really good.
I think this is gonna change things up a lot. Let's try with some sauce now.
It's much better. I got a lot of fish in here. It's a good piece.
I mean, I don't think they're skimping on the portions of fish per se. Yeah, I would like another piece or 2 for that money. The curry and mango had like just the right combination of curry and mango flavor. Like it wasn't too strong. I actually enjoyed that a lot, but I don't know if you can really eat this without the sauce. Like I would want more seasoning out of it. Pretty good, right?
I had fish and chips in London and on cruises. I think those are the only times I eat fish and chips. I like this better than the cruises and in London.
So this is better than the fish and chips you had in London? Wow.
I mean, I only had like 1 touristy spot in London as well.
This isn't something I typically seek out. Like for my British viewers watching, how often do you actually eat fish and chips? You know, Gordon Ramsay said that growing up, fish and chips was a big comfort food for him. I mean, he has so many different restaurants and chains though. I don't know how much he had to do with this. Like I wonder if this was on Kitchen Nightmares, what would he say about the spot?
And then be like, surprise, this is actually your own restaurant. I was so confused the first time I ever ate fish and chips. We got it, I'm like, wait, where are my chips?
You thought it'd be potato chips.
So, yeah, a long time ago. This was like, I don't know, 20 years ago.
Fries are crispy.
McDonald's fries are better.
Where are you from? Ireland. Ireland, okay. Is this big in Ireland, fish and chips? No. So you're saying no.
It's okay.
It's okay. That's what I was thinking too.
Sometimes British fish and chips are rotten. Depends what fish they use.
Yeah.
The best fish is obviously cod, and that's cod.
So it is good quality fish at least.
It is very good.
You know, New York really isn't that much of like a celebrity, gimmicky restaurant kind of town. Do you agree with that? Like, do you think if more of these popped up, people would go or they wouldn't care?
You know, Times Square is teeming with people, so they'll have people come. But if you want celebrity restaurants, you could go to Vegas for that.
I mean, Gordon Ramsay has a couple spots in Vegas. He has, I think, 2 restaurants in Atlantic City. I guess for him, this isn't that big of a deal, but I can't wholeheartedly recommend my viewers come here if they want authentic fish and chips. Seeing Gordon Ramsay's cutout outside, that is going to be familiar for some people. It's like going to the Olive Garden in Times Square.
Which is the worst. That's the worst restaurant in Times Square, in New York, in my opinion.
John, thanks for spending $50 on this. All I could say is I would have gotten 5 Chipotle bowls, man, if it's up to me.
$47.85, you gotta get it right.
I'm gonna get a refill on this drink at the fountain to make it worth it. But yeah, when we went to Vegas, it was like Ramsay territory all over. I do prefer this over fish fillet from McDonald's.
How much would you be comfortable spending for this meal, for one of them?
$10.
So you're saying for you it's a value thing. If this was $9.99, you'd say, okay, it's fast food, it's Times Square, I can deal with it.
I would, and it's fish. And it's interesting that you said it's somewhat gimmicky, and Times Square is perfect for that.
Yeah.
That's why all the scammers are here.
Are you calling Gordon Ramsay a scammer?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying they happen to be here.
It is. I guess what gave you the motivation to come here in New York? I'm wondering.
I've been to this one before.
Okay. What do you think about it? The fish and chips? It's good? You like it?
Is it authentic enough?
You know, while I didn't love Gordon Ramsay's fish and chips, I actually am curious to try Hell's Kitchen in Las Vegas because I've heard you have to make a reservation like weeks in advance.
When we went to Vegas, I think everywhere you needed to have a reservation, which was like crazy because in New York you could just kind of go in.
You just pop in usually, yeah.
It's just so different.
What I find interesting is people just like stop here and take photos. Gordon Ramsay is the attraction. If this was just London fish and chips, no one would be here. So celebrity sells. I gotta say, Times Square is hopping right now. Like, tourism is back in full swing. Now, this is something that typically has celebrities that I highly endorse. We've got Carlo's Bake Shop, which was made world famous on the TLC show Cake Boss, which aired for 9 seasons. And Buddy Velostro's got 12 of these nationwide, with the original being in Hoboken, New Jersey. And apparently that's turned Hoboken into a destination by itself. Now, it does have a lowly 2.6 stars on Yelp. All right, let's check it out, shall we? To you.
Thank you.
Oh, there he is. Busy with these spots and the cardboard cutouts. I get one of Buddy's box. Thank you.
Ooh.
Both of the celebrity spots, they get a 10 out of 10 for branding. This would look nice if you brought it home as a gift. Yeah, I just saw your face. $34.95 for these 6 items.
Have you got to get a second job?
I need a second job to afford this video. You're absolutely right. You know, I don't eat enough cannolis for someone that lives in the city with such a big Italian-American population. But I have to say that at least it's big enough. All right, let's try this. Let's take a bite. The words that come to mind are not bad. This would be a good cannoli at some tourist trap in Little Italy. Like, not the best one I've ever had in my life.
First word that came to mind is it tastes nice. I learned that you don't want to be described as nice whenever someone describes you.
You're saying they're not taking risks.
Correct. It's good. It's cooling, you know, on a hot day like this.
The exterior should be a little crumblier. I mean, I don't know how long these have been sitting there. A cannoli's $5.95.
Wow.
It's funny because I've walked by this place so many times and I'm always like, no, it looks kind of gimmicky. I don't want to try it. I'm not saying it's bad. I think nice is the right word.
Yeah, and the fact that it's right next to the port already doesn't help to a local New Yorker.
My viewers out there that have went to the original Carlo's in Hoboken and tried this one, did you notice a difference? I grew up in a town with a lot of Italians. I grew up eating cannolis. So this is just mediocre.
Mediocre average is pretty good for a touristy area. Is this a national chain or a global chain?
They opened one here, now there's 12 nationally. So it started as a family-owned business and then it's gone national.
We were asking why would tourists go to Gordon Ramsay? Why would someone from UK come to New York and visit Gordon Ramsay? I think when you're away from home, you miss the food that you've been eating.
When I leave New York, I'm not eating pizza anywhere else. Unless it's Italy. Unless it's Italy, then I will.
Right.
We've got a lobster tail, which is super Italian-American.
John told us, oh, we're gonna eat lobster tails today, and I was like, that sounds awesome. Let me Google it. I Googled it, and then I was like, this is not a lobster tail. I would prefer the real thing, John. Maybe next time.
You had your fish, you had your cod. Let's give us a bite. Try it.
The exterior is much more crunchier than I thought. The inside is cooling.
The cream filling in the middle is actually pretty comforting. I like the flavor of it, but the exterior, it's just, I think it's too crunchy for this. Like, it needs to be a little softer. I think if you ordered enough items here, you probably would find a couple that were solid, but I don't know if they had an off day or they just don't do cannolis and lobster tails well, but
It's all right, but I prefer my other desserts more.
we're gonna see how the Cake Boss does cake. I get the chocolate fudge cake slice. This is interesting.
Oh wow, it's so packaged.
So packaged. $10 slice of cake.
I've never seen a cake packaged like this.
It's so funny.
You guys are getting married soon. You know, if this is good, would you consider getting your wedding cake from the Cake Boss?
Oh man.
No, we already have a cake.
Yeah, that's why. That's why.
Cheers.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
It's so rich.
It's rich, but I was afraid that it might be overly sweet, and it wasn't. I think I'll prefer this over the cannoli, actually.
I like the lobster tail the most.
I've definitely had more chocolate cake in my life than lobster tails and cannolis combined, so let me see. I would definitely take this cake over the other two. And thinking that was like what the show was really big on, I'm kind of not surprised. The cake would be decent, got a reputation to uphold. I don't know, just traveling with friends or family, they're a huge
fan of Cake Boss, maybe you come in for something. But Italian pastries, you guys said it first. Venero's in the East Village is where I would send people. I'd say this is better than a supermarket cake, maybe. Maybe.
As you can see, eating in Times Square is not the most healthy place for your food.
I feel like Times Square is just a mini Vegas strip. I said it to Norma Helly, Vegas YouTuber, and she covers a lot of these chain restaurants out in Vegas. We were walking by, I'm like, yeah, I get those vibes completely.
Today we're getting a first look at Summit 1 Vanderbilt, New York's newest observation deck, and the city has never had something quite like this before. We're gonna take you through the entire experience. Make sure to watch till the end because I'll be comparing this to the other 4 observation decks in New York to give you my opinions. 1 Vanderbilt opened September 2020. It is the 4th largest building in New York City at 1,401 feet high. Literally, you can walk to Summit through Grand Central. You don't even have to go outside. We're on an early access tour before the public. I'm just like pumped up for this. This is amazing. The actual artist who designed the exhibits here is leading our tour. It's just like an immersive experience before we even get there.
And so your eyes are kind of settling into night vision as we wait for the elevator to arrive and start to kind of reprogram your senses as you emerge into air and the observation deck on the map.
Ears popping, ears popping.
We just did 91 floors in 43 seconds.
It's still technically under construction. We gotta put these on.
Don't look at your phone. Give yourself a minute or two just to like live in the experience.
Absolutely breathtaking. Just
I'm like stuck in a fun house, but I have all of the New York skyline to look at. This is wow.
You might notice there are like 6 suns in here right now. Like weather, lightning storms, snowstorms, rainstorms.
So you're saying you could come here different times of year, different times of day, have a completely different experience?
Yeah.
This room is called Transcendence. He was telling us it took 3 years to design this. It's trippy. You can look up, see your reflection, look down, see other people's reflections, and you've got the skyline view there. This could be its own exhibit without even having an observation deck. Summer in there with all the heat from the sun, and now we're cooling off. Now it's like spring. So a sensory overload. It's an experience already. We've only been here for 15 minutes. What you do when you come here. This is actually part of the exhibit. I would pay $39 just to be inside here. I'm not even kidding with you. Just you take care of your stress, you know? We have this $1 million view, and I'm not even looking. We have Top of the Rock there, but we're just playing. Wow. They want this to feel like you're part of an organism, like everyone is interacting together in here. It's all interconnected. This is going to be very difficult to top in New York City, especially if you want to take cool photos or videos. We're at Alice in Wonderland here.
This is amazing. Look at this.
The bathroom has the best view in the city. What's that?
I'm back in Barcelona at Casa Batillo.
The idea of Transcendence 2 is this kind of notion of both folding time and also showing you how interconnected air is to the organism that is New York City.
You are staring down at people that come to Transcendence 1. This is up here, Transcendence 2. And his point was they might think that you're a reflection on the mirror somewhere down there. All of these mirrors like creating one organism. This is wild. I'm really speechless about this.
I think I can see 1,000 Jason Rupps down there because there's all these reflections of myself on each floor going down and down and down.
Asked us, are we afraid of heights? Well, we're gonna show you why they just asked us that question.
When I took my first step onto this platform, I felt my heart like rise up a few inches. It was weird.
We are 1,000 feet over Madison Avenue right now.
What the weight limit on this is.
Yeah, is there a weight limit? Tell me in the comments, would you stand 1,000 feet over Madison Avenue? Why or why not? So this is the cafe up here, and they were telling me that it's not going to be
reservation only. It's just for people who come by, and this is an incredible view. Just to have a drink, a cocktail, special occasion. You're staring right at the Empire State Building. We are finally outside. We are saving maybe the best for last. Empire State Building, One World straight down there. Look, I can see all of Queens, Brooklyn. Truth be told, in many cities, you would just pay to come to an observation deck like this. In fact, in some ways, this is the least interesting part of the summit experience for me so far, being outside and staring at the city. Because you can pretty much do that at any observation deck, and they're all great, but this adds a little extra something to it. Guys, this is the grand finale. We're going on ascent to almost the top of the building, 1,201 feet above the city on the largest outdoor elevator in the world. I've been honestly most looking forward to this. Everything we saw today, we're about to go up. Here we go. Wow. And look, it's all open. Open everywhere. Bottom. It's out here. This is a heck of a finale here. This is amazing. This is so cool. Absolutely one of the most unique things you can do in New York City. And this is just one of the exhibits here. This has been more than enough. This has just absolutely been insane. We're heading down now, ears popping. When does this end? We don't know when this ends.
Look at that. Wow, there's like 5 Jason Rupps right now.
Oh, 5. There's 5 Jaycations.
Holy gosh.
At least. No, I see a few hundred down there.
Feels like there's 500 people on this elevator right now. Opens October 21st. You can buy tickets today. See the link in the description. $39 gets you in the door. $59 includes that amazing ascent elevator. I'd pay the $20 every time if I was you.
Like I was trapped in a disco ball with a New York skyline around me.
I felt like I was in the Matrix or something, just going from room to room and seeing all these reflections and glass. I felt like Keanu Reeves just floating.
And I've been to every single observation deck in New York City. I've done every single one on a press tour like this. Nobody paid me to say this. Summit is my favorite because it's the only observation deck I've been to where I cared more about what was inside, what was going on around me and all those experiences versus the views. Because yeah, you get the nice views in there too, but what I think you're paying the money for is that immersive experience, as everyone was saying, just to feel a part of it. It is unbelievable and like something I've never seen in New York City. This is gonna turn into the hottest attraction in New York. Quote me on that. There are certain attractions in New York City that are overrun by tourists and yet are wildly popular. I've lived in New York for the last 10 years. I've never done any of these things. So today, I'm gonna go undercover and find out if they're actually worth it. But first, I need to look the part so none of my subscribers recognize me. Probably the first thing you ever think of when it comes to tourists in New York are those hop-on, hop-off buses. But we're gonna take Big Bus on the 90-minute downtown loop. I've never done this before, but I'm gonna try to keep an open mind and see what the hype is. You can actually see where the buses are in real time, so you're never wasting that much time waiting for them to pick you up. This is a little different for the channel, a little different. It's about 90 degrees today. This is probably as touristy as you can get, but I have to admit, getting a view from up here, can't really replicate this unless you're in a stretch limo, and even then you're not gonna be this high. Guys, look how close these traffic lights are. If I was a little taller, you could practically reach out and touch them. They have 5 different languages narrating the tours. My family from Mexico doesn't speak English. I'd consider putting them on this so they can have an idea of what they're seeing. Tenemos muchos ganos de explorar Nueva York. Increíbles.
listening to the history, it's accurate, it's good. My favorite observation deck in New York, Summit OV.
It's so hot. I wish there's like a vendor here. We're like, can you throw me a Gatorade?
Look at this. There's different dangers up here than on the street. I would say this is the equivalent of taking a cruise ship. You can go to a lot of different stops in a short span, if that's what your objective is. There's a first level. You want to avoid the sun, get a little breeze from the window. Also an option. A little more fun upstairs though.
That's one of a kind. Where you guys from?
Jersey.
Oh, all right.
Around the corner.
Go to the waters, man. Come
We can walk. We've never done this before, so I wanted to do it once in my life.
All right.
How long you been driving the bus?
Too long. Over 20 years.
Thank you so much, man. Have a great day.
Have a good one.
You know, I have to say my favorite thing about the bus tour was actually the bus driver. And that's good advice for any of you visiting New York. Even if you do the most touristy things possible, always chat with the locals, waiters, hotel staff, bus drivers. You get some great insights and a whole lot of personality. Overall, I think something like Big Bus does serve a purpose for people who just aren't adventurous enough to go out by themselves, for first-time visitors, maybe with small children, the elderly, disabled, different languages, and I'm glad I did it for the first time in my life. I can't remember the last time I had to wait in line for a restaurant, but we're gonna do it. Ellen's Stardust Diner. Known to many as one of the biggest tourist traps in New York City. It's 1950s themed. They have singing waiters, and I respect that a lot of these waiters want to be on Broadway someday. Is it worth it? I don't know. All right. It's like true communal seating. 21 bucks, maybe the most expensive basic burger I've actually ever seen in New York City. It's a burger. Not the worst I've had, not the best I've had, serviceable.
This is the Homer burger. And it's instead of normal burger buns, it came with glazed donut. I'm always down for anything different, unique.
All right, let's do it. Let's see.
As long as it's good.
Fist bump. Always fist bumps. Oh, there's Rocky.
You like it?
I weirdly like it. Maybe I'm just weird.
Couple notes, they do add 20% gratuity to your bill, which I'm fine with, but just be aware of it so you don't leave extra if you don't want to. I think there's certain people this would really appeal to, and I think if you watched it and you love that kind of performance nonstop, you're into really cheesy humor, if you love show tunes or have friends that are into show tunes, this is a charming place. Food was okay, it's expensive. I could give you an alternative if this isn't for you. I'd recommend Birdland Jazz Club if you want the live music and dinner experience. This is very touristy. I probably wouldn't come back, but it's not really my style. Low budget and you want some 99-cent gifts, the Grand Slam store in Times Square has a 99-cent section here. Keychains, shot glasses. I might even buy one of these. Every single hawker and vendor has tried handing us stuff because of these shirts, and I swear we're getting the stink eye from people for being dressed like this. They're like, really? You're wearing that? I don't know, I kind of like it. And I have to admit, being a tourist is so tiring. I just want to go home and take a nap now. This is the Circle Line Harbor Lights Cruise. Every review of this I read said to come at least 45 minutes early if you want to get one of the outdoor seats. So we're here like 50 minutes early, and there's still a line. Where's the best view, you think?
I would say the best view would be outside, right? You know, you have no obstructions.
Up here?
No windows, you want to be outside.
50 minutes early and the outside is like 75% full. Insider tip for you there. $21 for 2 beers, but I do respect them for having a New York City brand here, Coney Island Brewing Company. I've had this Mermaid Pilsner before, it's really good. Of all the things on this video, I was actually most excited for this because the route that it takes at night, there is no cheaper way to see everything you're gonna see on a boat in New York City than taking the Circle Line at sunset.
Record time, under the budget, and the height of the Great Depression, the greatest skyscraper of them all. And one of the great wonders of the world we got in New York City today, that's our Empire State Building.
This tour guide's good.
Italian-American
He's
singer
really
Frank
good.
Sinatra. He's from Hoboken too.
So as you can see, the Statue of Liberty basically makes all the tourists go nuts. I get it though, like this is the picture everybody wants. Yeah, it's not so bad being a tourist. The tour guide made a good point. This is the only boat that you could take that goes this far up the East River. It's actually true. I've been on some boats before. I never made it past the Williamsburg Bridge. So you actually do get some pretty unique views here. Italy, okay.
Yeah, I'm from North Italy.
Near Venice. I grew up in New Jersey. All the years I've lived in New York, I have never gone to the Statue of Liberty at sunset till right now. So I'm even excited like all these people are. I equate all the tourists crowding to the Statue of Liberty to the immigrants arriving at Ellis Island for the first time. It is the exact same effect. There it is. I've seen it in all the movies and it's right in front of me. Of all the things we did today, the Circle Line tour at sunset was definitely my favorite. I think the views are worth the price of admission alone. I do have some small critiques. Now, everyone had a seat, but it got a little claustrophobic at times when people are trying to take photos of the Statue of Liberty, but outside of those small little things, totally worth the price of admission. Behind me is the Ford Foundation for Social Justice. Inside is a garden that is one of New York's best kept secrets. Wow. You hear like a pin drop in here. People that work for the Ford Foundation, this is an office building. Imagine looking outside your floor and seeing this. Like, I'd be inspired to work a little bit harder. You know, the 2 giant glass walls and ceiling act as a large-scale greenhouse, which is creating literal tropical conditions for the plants all around me to thrive year-round. Here's a fun fact for you. Even real rainfall is collected on the roof and added to the steam condensation from inside to water the plants and fill the pools here. I mean, would you expect something like that in Midtown Manhattan? You can hear drilling coming from outside, and here we are in this rainforest oasis. They've got 40 different types of trees, shrubs, and vines all under one roof. And they also have a sensory section that enables people who are blind or with low vision to touch and interact with plants.
The sensory garden is devoted to creating a lasting, tactile, scented experience for all visitors.
It's just so strange because I keep getting this feeling like I'm trespassing in some office building, but they actually encourage general public to come here. Grand Central is really close, right on this street, and I have walked by this rainforest, this tropical escape so many times and never even noticed it. Imagine just taking a friend here by accident, like, oh, I wonder what this is. This Midtown office building right here, if you just walked by and you missed this sign, Sakagura, you'd be missing out on one of the coolest restaurants in the city that is totally hidden. Inside the building, look for the Japanese lettering. Sakagura, it means sake brewery in Japanese. This door. This place feels more like Japan than Japan. You know, forget about a wine special. They have some of the biggest selection of sake in the United States here. Come by. Oh, it's so smooth. It's so smooth.
Thank you.
Doesn't even taste like alcohol. Best sake I've ever had in my entire life. Braised pork belly. Very tender. You know, everything here is made for sharing. They said family style. I feel like this would be equally good for a really cool date. A group of friends, you want to drink some sake together? I think you can do some damage here. Enjoying life?
Oh my god, I'm so lost in this. I just want to savor it to the bone. That's what it deserves.
I think we're changing the channel. No more cheap eats in Airbnb Bar.
Oh yeah.
Luxury from here on out.
Sign me up.
With tax and tip, it was about $130 for 2 people, and that included some sake. That's actually not that expensive. I've had meals in New York that cost more than that were 50% lower quality. For a really cool underground Japanese experience, this is the spot. This New York City secret's for my pizza lovers out there. Have you ever prayed for good pizza in one of the most touristy spots of Manhattan? Well, John's of Times Square is the blessing you were looking for. This is one of the most unique locations for a pizzeria anywhere in the world because we're inside of an old church. Well, let's do a large traditional, and let's add meatball and mushrooms. It's actually really trippy eating in here. And as I turn my head and I look up, I see the ceiling of a church. It took them 2.5 years to renovate this place, to turn it into a pizza spot. Opened in 1997. The stained glass is original and cut into 8 perfect slices, just like a pizza. Look at the little bits of mozzarella cheese on the garlic rolls, wow. Garlic rolls are nice. Look at that. It's like a little baby. Now that I'm a dad, I'm holding a pizza like I'd hold my son. We did half cheese, half mushroom and meatball. Came out pretty quick, actually. All right, let's take a big bite. I've never been here before. My prayers have been answered. A decent pizza place in Times Square. Who knew? You're a fan of that coal oven flavor. Nice little char on the bottom. I love John's of Times Square. This would be a good spot to go to. A little family, a date. And if you have a Broadway show, they're pretty fast here. Pre-show or post-show dinner. They're open till 11:30 p.m.
Such a bad Catholic. Good pizza though.
Now you may see the price tag and think, well, $25 for a pie of pizza, that's expensive. But did you know the average person spends $18? Because you could split these pies 3 ways, even 4 ways. This is the ultimate group activity. We're less than a 5-minute walk from Times Square, and I am about to walk underneath a 17-foot long tunnel underneath a waterfall. All right, this wasn't placed here by accident. It's behind the McGraw-Hill building called McGraw-Hill Waterfall. It's like I'm in an aquarium right now looking up at this. This is absolutely unbelievable. One of my favorite secret parks in Midtown Manhattan, and most tourists have never even heard of it. I mean, you have to look at the motivation for why parks like this were built in the first place. It was for Midtown office workers to have a place to relax surrounded by all this chaos. You could stare at this waterfall, feel like you're somewhere completely different. Also a lot of tables here, so if you want to get food from one of the halal carts, sit right here. Beautiful view. I'll be honest, I didn't even know this existed until I did research for this video. You may have heard of 5th Ave, you may have heard of 6th Ave, but have you ever heard of 6.5 Avenue? This is the only fraction street in all of New York City. This is actually on Google Maps. It was given official signage back in 2012. But it's not just a sign, that would be cool enough. No, follow me. Corridors between the streets here. This reminds me of like Montreal and Toronto having those covered areas to get between blocks in the winter. I feel like this New York City insider, we're being chased by people and I'm like, follow me, we'll take 6.5 Ave. We need like a 4.5 Avenue, a 5.5 Avenue. This is amazing. Just strolling 6.5 Ave.
Crossing 7th Ave, there's a literal needle in the haystack you gotta be on the lookout for. Fashion Avenue, what a spot for this needle and button on top of the information center, paying homage to the history of the garment district, but there's more right here. This bronze statue was made by Judith Weller, showing her father, one of the many Jewish immigrants who moved to New York and worked in the garment district. But I think this speaks to all the hardworking immigrants who came to New York City from any background. If you've spent any time in the Big Apple, one of the most iconic things about the skyline are those old wooden water towers. And they're all still in use except for this one. On top of the MoMA sits Water Tower, a translucent sculpture made using a functioning cedar tower. It was created by an English artist, Rachel Whitered, and she wanted to create something that was really New York City. That sculpture actually changes color depending on the lighting and the weather. So the next time you're walking in Midtown Manhattan and you look up and you see a water tower that looks a little bit different than the others, you know why. If you're a fan of Broadway shows and you want to go to the source where a lot of costumes are bought, check out the Feather Place located above me on the 3rd floor in the Garment District. This place sources different costumes for Broadway, carnivals, burlesque shows, and a lot of people have never heard of it. Well, until today. You actually have to call them to get in. I feel like we're about to go to a speakeasy bar right now. Guys, seriously, if you are going to any sort of a costume party, you want that 1920s look, you can come here for this, and you're not gonna find these sorts of items at your average costume shop, trust me. I mean, these are the sorts of items that you're gonna see on shows. You can buy them for yourself. Look at my head. I just became like a rooster. I can't even recognize you anymore. I don't know what you are. You're just very colorful. You'd be the life of the party right now.
Yep. Elton John would be so ashamed if he sees me walking down the street like this. He'd be like, wow, that guy just completely beat my fashion.
Greenacre Park is one of 2 urban parks in Midtown East that are absolutely amazing, and a lot of people don't even realize that it's right here. Now, you can hear the waterfalls from the outside, and when you turn into the park, even at night, it's illuminated, absolutely gorgeous, the perfect respite from a busy day in Midtown. Just come in there, sit down, eat a meal, enjoy the peace and quiet that honestly is really tough to find in this part of Manhattan. Now we're gonna show you another park just a few blocks away. So we just showed you Greenacre Park. This is Paley Park. It's a little bit more modest, doesn't quite feel like a Japanese garden like Greenacre does. It's considered a pocket park of New York City. It's just 20 feet, you go inside, huge waterfall, a lot of places to sit down, to relax. You can come at night, and it was named after William Paley, who was once the chairman of CBS. You might recognize that name. You just arrived in New York City from the world's busiest bus terminal, Port Authority. You're usually in such a rush that you won't even pay attention to a really cool statue built right here in 1999 called Ralph Cramden, who was the character that Jackie Gleason played in one of the most famous TV series in American history, The Honeymooners. And what was his profession? He was a bus driver. So it's the perfect honor to him in front of Port Authority, where, who knows, maybe he could have worked. 8 feet tall in bronze. Very lifelike. I'm gonna be honest, I used to commute into this building from New Jersey, and it's probably my least favorite place in New York City. Because I love you guys, I wanted to show you a bonus inside of Port Authority. This is called Commuters. 3 bronze statues built in 1980 to honor what most people in here are doing. They're commuting. It's actually interactive. Be a jerk and cut the line. You could wait in line. Don't touch them though, of course. And it even says, next departure, 3 p.m. Bryant Park is one of my favorite parks in New York. It's the ultimate escape from the hustle and bustle of Midtown, but this is literally an escape. The Bryant Park escape hatch hidden underneath here. Now, if you don't know what's right there, it's the New York Public Library, world famous. Now in the 1980s, the library had a space problem, and rather than move extra books to New Jersey, they built underground stacks underneath our feet right here in Bryant Park. So you can't see it, but there's 84 miles of stacks holding 5.7 million books. If somebody requests one of those books at the library, it's sent underground via an internal conveyor belt system. But the staff down there need an emergency exit, and that's where this comes in. You can't see it, it's actually covered by the names of many benefactors, but if you lift it up, there's a way out from the library underground through the park right here. So the way I see it is if there's ever a zombie apocalypse and you're getting chased to the park, you slip in here and you get into the library and you figure it out from there. That's my advice anyway. While this isn't hidden in plain sight, the Bryant Park bathroom, if you happen to be here, is not only the nicest public bathroom in New York City, it might be one of the nicest public bathrooms in the world. It's like stepping into a 5-star hotel's lobby bathroom. Check it out, use it if you have to. Many people come to the Macy's at Herald Square for shopping. This is the largest department store in the world. It covers an entire city block. But we're gonna go inside to see something that most tourists have no idea about, and it's practically extinct anywhere else in the world. You have to come to the 9th floor to find this, one of the world's last remaining wooden escalators. Built by the Otis Company between 1920 and 1930. You can even see the wooden slats right there. This is like a throwback to a bygone era. This is like riding on a literal time machine. That just feels different to step on this. Wow. There's one working right there, going up, and then the other one is working. So I'm counting 3 right now. Whoever the spouse is that likes to shop, leave them here and you can just ride the escalators. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. Those escalators look so boring compared to this.
The Empire State Building, New York's most famous attraction, and today you're getting a VIP tour from the bottom to the top. We'll show you all the exhibits and viewpoints, then conclude with one of the nicest New York City sunsets you've ever seen. Let's explore one of the Big Apple's original tourist attractions.
Hey everyone, it's Jod, and when you ask any tourist visiting New York City what's the #1 attraction they want to visit, I'm betting the Empire State Building is near the top of this list, and I have not been here since I was a kid. This video is about 25 years overdue, the last observation deck I have not covered on this channel until today. Check out the list of the other observation decks in the description. Here we go. Temperature check, of course. Welcome to the lobby. The Empire State Building opened in 1931, and this lobby just exudes that Art Deco vibe. The ceiling, 24-karat gold, and so many movies and TV shows have been filmed right here. It's like stepping into history every time. We are taking a private tour around with the Empire State Building's PR team. We have a special guest, probably no surprise, Team Adriana joining us. What are your first impressions?
The building is so beautiful, and I'm really excited because, like you say, I've never been here. You were here when you were a kid, but I've never been here. It's my first time, so I'm super excited.
So this is the green room for the celeb visits. I don't think I qualify as a celebrity, but just to show you where the celebrities hang out when they visit here, this is it. So this is the lobby where you would enter as a tourist paying for tickets, and the prices are to access the 80th and 86th floor, $42. To access the 102nd floor observatory, $72. So keep those prices in mind. We're gonna show you all of the access that you can get for both prices today.
You can see people, like she said.
Yeah, you can see the little shadows hanging out. During normal times, there would be a huge queue right now to get to the elevators to get to the top, but it's COVID, a lot less people visiting. If you're a New Yorker and you've never come to the Empire State Building, well, I mean, look around you. This would be the moment to do it if you don't like lines and you still, you want an incredible sunset view. This is one of the first stops on your Empire State Building tour, the 2nd floor, and the museum here shows the evolution of this building. I mean, you can see exactly how it's built. I highly recommend stopping, taking some photos, and really admiring the story of this building because it's really unique. Guys, the old working elevator here. Check this out.
don't know if I would trust this right now, but. So the Empire State Building has been the setting for many movies, most famously King Kong, and this exhibit, well, it shows it off pretty well. He's watching you.
He's watching you behind you.
All right, guys, you need to look up as soon as the elevator starts. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Welcome to the world's most famous building, and you get to see it built. Keep your arms and legs inside and keep your eyes open. See those hot rivets fly through the air? Nice catch, Lou! Get those planks out of the way, huh?
Walking onto the 80th floor now. This was opened in 2019. This is one of those new things I was talking about that didn't even exist when I came here as a kid. You could see some of the other observatories from here. The Edge right there. This visibility is absolutely incredible right now. I think we're very fortunate with the way that the sun is setting today. We can see One World, the Verrazano Bridge, all the way even to New Jersey and Staten Island. We lucked out, I'm telling you today. We really lucked out. Guys, we're skipping the 86th floor because we're coming back here for sunset. So we're gonna go to the 102nd floor before. We're going out of order, but it's intentional, trust me. Wow. New York. I feel like a kid again, like I was 8 years old visiting. I'll admit I'm more excited about going outside because I prefer the outdoor observation decks. But this here, I mean, this is impressive. For being indoors and being pretty small, I actually think in some ways it rivals One World because One World is so expansive, but here you just feel like you're so close to the windows.
You can see the ice skating from here. You can see people, like little people, moving around.
Yeah, they look like little toy ice skaters from here. It's ridiculous. Even though this is new, this is still a classic view that people have been enjoying since the early 1930s. I mean, this building was the tallest building in the world for almost 40 years. If you like history, the Empire State Building is definitely for you. All right, we've made it to the 86th floor for the triumphant sunset coming up in about 20 minutes. This is gonna be very memorable. This could turn into the nicest sunset I've ever seen in New York City. I've got a feeling, I'm betting on it. Even with the crazy times, people are still up here for sunset. They're lining up. There is space though. I can't even imagine what it would be like to try to get that $1 million sunset shot during normal times. But tonight, perfect opportunity. I mean, I can't wait to see what this is gonna bring. The city is so peaceful from up here. I think I could stay in this same position for 30 minutes and not move and just admire New York from up top. You know, living here long enough, sometimes you take this for granted. You take the grand scope of things for granted. Like, I'm definitely not trying to take this moment for granted right now. If you're a fan of the views up here and you want to support this local New York City artist, Adriana, right here, she's got some Empire State Building prints that would fit perfectly on your wall on her Etsy store. Putting a link down below. You need to check these out. Trust me. And for a limited time, 20% off with code Adriana.
Yeah, go check it out, guys.
Really cool fact I just learned, on the clearest of clear days, you can see 6 states from up here: Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and even Delaware. Wow. I mean, today's not the day, but just something to be aware of. We have bird's eye view of the northeastern United States here. At the top of the hour, every hour after sunset, the top of the Empire State Building sparkles white, and you can see it from the entire city if you're looking up.
This is why you have to come at sunset, because you get so many different types of light that it's a different experience. Every time I circle around, it just gets nicer and nicer. Now it's almost completely dark, but there's a little purple in the sky. So interesting news, fall 2021, One Vanderbilt over my left shoulder here is planning on opening up an observation deck. There's not a lot known about it, but that's gonna be the 5th observation deck in New York City. Top of the Rock right there. The Edge just opened in March. So if you're a fan of observation decks, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in New York. It's honestly kind of overwhelming. If I was a tourist, it's a tough decision. I did an entire video comparing all the observation decks. Definitely check it out. What's up, members of the Barrio? It's John coming to you from Manhattan, and today we are going to the top of the Rock for the first time in my life. I've lived in New York City for almost a decade, and this is one of the most popular attractions in the entire city, and I'm gonna let you guys know if I think it's worth the $40 admission. This video is not sponsored. I'm gonna be as honest as possible. We're going 70 floors above the city to check out one of the best views of all of Manhattan. Make sure to check out my other New York City playlist, linked down below for other great ideas for your next trip to New York City. Here we go.
I heard good things about it. I heard that you can see actually Central Park, and that's why I'm so excited. And I think I should have done this a long time ago. So I'm really, really excited for this.
Very important, you can buy your ticket online in advance. It's $40 during the day. They increased the cost to $50 around the sunset period. We're gonna check it out with as much light as we can, pre-saved right here, so you get to skip the big line. So we just got past security. It's just like airport security, same thing at One World observation deck. A quick note, you can actually tour the studios at 30 Rock, which is right next door, and I highly recommend if you're interested in going behind the scenes of NBC Studios, you could do that before this and then come here after. Tourist photos are optional, by the way. Don't have to take them, but I don't blame them for trying. Of waiting. We are online for the elevators to go to the top. Should be a very quick ride.
Alrighty, next up is 67. You should be there in about 43 seconds. I hope you guys enjoy. Bye-bye. Make me famous. No, I'm kidding.
I have a dream.
Alright, so we made it to the 67th floor, and I admit that the elevator ride at One World Trade observation deck, way better than this one, but this was okay. I mean, it only took 43 seconds. I am most excited to see these outdoor views here, and that's one thing that Top of the Rock has, that One World observation deck does not have, the ability to go outside. And I've never been here before, guys, so getting excited.
For those who say that I only come to the videos when there is food involved, there is no food involved in this one, and here I am.
Wow. Central Park.
It looks so cool. I like to see the lake down there. Let me do a close-up for you so you can see what I'm talking about.
One of the most unique features of being at the top of the Rock is that you feel like you are amongst the buildings, and that's what makes this different than, let's say, One World observation deck, where you're all the way up there, highest point in the United States, but you feel above everything. Here, I just feel like the buildings are surrounding me, so it's definitely unique in that aspect. I've also noticed how many languages I'm hearing being spoken up here. This is one of the biggest tourist attractions in New York City. That
that was just the first observation deck. We have the 69th and 70th floors to go. So if that was just it, I wouldn't have been super impressed, but I knew that we were going higher up. It's just gonna get better and better, I think.
Oh, it's very nice. It's amazing. I mean, first time in New York, and I expected this.
I'm actually impressed about one thing so far. There's not as many people up here as I thought there would be. Look behind me. I thought it would be absolutely packed. And one of the advantages up top of the rock, from what I've seen, is that there's 3 decks. Therefore, you can spread the amount of people out. So we have plenty of room for pictures. Of course, we haven't gotten to the top, which will have, in my opinion, the best views. But so far, so good.
Let's go to the top of the rock.
All right, guys, really cool fact for you, and special thanks to Seth, my good friend, and my old art history professor at Rutgers for informing me about this. So when John D. Rockefeller Jr. built this up here, he wanted coming to work in this building to be an adventure, and the top observation deck to be like being on a great ocean liner. So if you look at both sides here, and the middle over here with the antennas, it almost looks like you're on the top of a ship. And I didn't realize it until my friend Seth sent me the photo. Very, very cool architecture. And I love this building as well. Just an excellent example of old school Art Deco New York City building. And not that crowded, I keep saying it. We waited a while to get up here, but once at the top, we've got a lot of room to walk around. I'm actually enjoying that compared to One World Trade. That was really packed into an indoor space. Here we're outside enjoying a beautiful summer day and just some of the nicest views I've seen in New York City ever. By the way, if you've been up here, I'm very curious what your experience was like. Did you think it was worth the money? Tell us down below in the comments. His first full day in the United States, first day in New York City, and this is your first attraction. What do you think?
Oh, this is amazing, John. I mean, I didn't research about this building, but you can see everything. The Hudson, Chrysler Building, Empire State. I'm really in love and enjoy this visit.
Just in case I get lost, I can have it always with me. Wait, this no.
I was actually reading TripAdvisor reviews. I was curious what the biggest complaints about coming here were, and outside of the wait and the lines to get in, one of them was save your money and go to a rooftop bar in New York City. You can get better views. I'll tell you, we have done so many rooftop bars. We just did a video about rooftop bars, and while many of them have great views, I'm looking at U235th especially, or Dear Irving was really good. None of them have a better view than this, especially because it's a 360-degree view of the city. That's just tough to find anywhere. Members of the Barrio, today we're going to be showing you some of the best Asian fried chicken in New York City, from Filipino to Korean and Taiwanese. Hope you brought your appetites. This is my go-to fast food spot in New York City, not Arby's, Jollibee. So it's going to be the 3-piece chicken joy with one side, 1 pineapple juice, and 1 water. It's my boy here, Jollibee. This is how you know you've come to the right spot. Fried chicken, this is what they're known for. This is their signature. Actually, could you ever have this before?
Yeah, I've had Jollibee fried chicken before. It's pretty good. It's a lot different than like Kentucky Fried Chicken, I'll put it that way.
In a good way?
Mm-hmm, in a good way.
Okay. I've been told that to do Jollibee right, you've got to dip it in the gravy. This piece is so big I can barely fit it in. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Drumstick.
Looks like honey dripping off. Incredible.
It does.
All right, let's take our first bite of the day. Cheers.
Cheers.
If a bite is worth 1,000 words, you could hear how crunchy and crispy this Jolly chicken is with the thigh covered in gravy. The gravy just adds this nice extra salty flavor to it.
I mean, it is good. And it's funny you mentioned how the gravy was like honey. It does taste like that, like the consistency. But it adds a little bit of saltiness afterwards. And this chicken's like so moist. I love it. Jollibee fried chicken. Can never go wrong.
Absolutely not. This is one of those places when I tell people to come to, sometimes they get surprised. They're like, fast food? I'm like, Jollibee is not your average fast food. I'm sorry, right? Not talked about enough here is the pineapple juice at Jollibee. Now it's about 40 degrees outside. Not exactly tropical weather, but you know, this is still, it's putting me in a warm mood, I guess. This is warming me up a little bit. You know, I was here the week it opened. The line was down the block. Jollibee is such a cultural institution in the Philippines, and we just so happen to have an ambassador filming right now. Amazing Ben, get this, used to work at Jollibee in Virginia. What's the secret to the Jollibee chicken?
This is just typical salt and pepper.
Simple.
It's not. They never actually, they come in already marinated. So in the stores, we would just deep fry them. Apart from dunking it, you can also just pour the gravy over. If it ain't messy, it ain't right.
It's time for some KFC, and we're not talking Colonel Sanders here. Korean fried chicken is the hottest type of fried chicken in the city right now.
Could we do the small combo wings and drums with soy garlic? That's it. All right, I said I was only gonna have one piece max to conserve my appetite, but after staring at this, it's gonna be more than one. Just from the looks of it compared to Jollibee, I feel like Jollibee is more of your American style fried chicken. This is very Korean.
I mean, just look at this thing. You see all the glaze on it. It's just coming at you like, eat me.
I agree, it's saying eat me. Like I don't want to waste much more time on this. Let's do it.
I know. Cheers. Let's do it.
That was so good, I needed 2 bites at once. It's really crispy and the soy garlic flavor doesn't overpower you. I was afraid that the sauce would be too strong, but it's just like the perfect amount, and the consistency of the chicken, excellent.
So good, I almost ate into the bone and ate my teeth, but totally agree with John. The soy garlic flavor doesn't overpower the chicken at all. It's super crunchy.
So far, I think this is the best Asian fried chicken I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot. I do not have a huge amount of experience with Asian fried chicken, with Korean fried chicken, but this is just jumping out of the page for me. Now this is important research we're doing because my wife, Adriana, loves Korean fried chicken. I don't think she's ever been here before, so I'm doing really vital research for our relationship.
I know, it's important to have good fried chicken if you want to stay together.
Husband duties, bringing Adriana some, what the heck. Next stop is in the heart of Koreatown, which, and by the way, we did an amazing guide to Koreatown. If you want more ideas what to do here, check it out down below. This is honestly one of the best blocks in all of Manhattan for eating and drinking, I will tell you. Hey, here we are. All right, so this is more of a grab and go kind of place. I admit there's a lot of choices here. We got boneless, with bone. Wow, a lot of choices. I'm thinking honey garlic. It's like the 7-Eleven of Korean fried chicken right here.
This thing. All right, here we go. Big unveil. Oh, that's a lot.
Ooh.
That is a lot. Honey garlic. Turning into an Asian fried chicken fiend after this video. No joke. Bon appetit. Let's try it. I like it, but it doesn't have the same flavor explosion that Bonchan did. This honey is a lot more understated.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. It's definitely a lot more crunchy. I'll give it that.
Definitely lighter. I feel like I can eat more of these really quickly, where Bonchan, I just wanted to savor every single bite. Like for me, I could just go through this really fast.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this is more like a casual restaurant. You just grab and go, and these you could really just down them having a few drinks.
A lot of people don't know this, but fried chicken got very big in South Korea after the American GIs were there. And that's how it spread. Similar story to the Philippines with Jollibee and some other chains. So we're actually looking at some American influence here. Just done a little bit different though.
They're not supposed to talk.
Oh yeah.
Ben, he's not real. He's not real, Ben.
That's what they call him.
Or is he? I did that, you know. I did that when I was in London, but I didn't mess with them. But they really don't flinch. They just chill.
Yeah.
TKK fried chicken. We've went from Philippines to South Korea, now to Taiwanese. I think we're gonna get wings. You want curry seasoned or lemon pepper? Your choice.
Curry.
Oh, I smell the curry. It's a strong,
Oh my gosh.
that's a really strong curry flavor here.
Look at this. It's not as glazy as the other ones, but it looks seasoned very well. I smell the curry.
It has the strongest smell of all the chicken wings we've had so far today, that's for sure. These aren't really that big. They're cheap, it's fast food style. Cheers.
All right.
Definitely the spiciest of all of the wings we've had so far today. That curry flavor smacks you in the face. Wow. Like with no sauce, with nothing extra, it's a little hot. Got me a little hot.
Yeah.
I'm digging the curry flavor though.
Yeah, I like it. It is a lot of flavor here. I love the curry.
Definitely not in that same Jollibee style, which I think is more Americanized. Like this is something distinctive. I think it stands by itself. I have to say, of all the spots we went to today, TKK surprised me the most. I had pretty much the lowest expectations of this one. Never been before. Really impressed though. Just like quick, grab and go, fast food. TKK like really went high on my list for it.
What's up, members of the barrio? It's John coming to you from Times Square, one of the craziest places in New York City, and we've already done a video about tourist traps here and scams. Today, we're gonna be taking an insider look at some things you can do around here that are really off the beaten path. I'm gonna be using Atlas Obscura, a really cool guide to show you around. I'm gonna link to the article down below if you wanna check it out, and I've got some really cool YouTubers who are gonna be joining me.
Do you guys normally like coming to Times Square?
When I'm coming to see a show.
Yeah, it's just a bit touristy. Like, I know it sounds bad because I'm British, but it's touristy.
All right, well, we're gonna try to change that perception today. Let's go.
All right, guys, for our first stop, actually our first two stops, we're gonna go inside the subway. The NQRW station right in Times Square has some hidden ceramic artwork by a Bronx-based artist that most people never even pay attention to. And I personally have never seen it, so we're gonna discover it together. Let's go. So we've just walked in here. We're looking for the NQRW platform and this ceramic art. Do you feel like this is gonna be tough to find?
Yes.
Yeah. we don't know where we are right now. We're gonna figure this out
I
though.
especially don't know where I am right now.
They especially have no idea. All right, so we have found the ceramic murals. Check this out.
Broadway. What else do we got? Guys, what's your interpretation of this?
This is the chef from The Little Mermaid.
So many people are just jetting by, commuting to work, or just on their way somewhere else, and they have no idea of all these cool things going on. That's really good music too, wow. A lot of good artwork there, a lot of good street musicians. Now I'm going to show you what they call the door to nowhere. This actually used to be a secret door to the Knickerbocker Hotel. We're coming right up on it. Check this out.
Ramin is trying. All right, we're about to get arrested. It's locked, folks.
It would lead to the Knickerbocker Hotel, and commuters would come here through those doors and go drink at the bar. Ramina tried it. It doesn't work anymore. All right, so when you guys think of Times Square, do you think of like overpriced tourist trap restaurants?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
I'm gonna show these two and everyone out there a little Cuban eatery that's not too far from here, that's cheap and good, and you won't find many tourists there. Let's go. What's on the Cuban sandwich?
Cheese salami, ham, pork,
A little mayo mustard.
I'll take one of those, please.
Guys, this is just the side dishes, by the way.
Like this is the main
This is the main dish.
And we got free chicken wings too.
Yeah, chicken wings while we wait, because you know we're VIP.
I ordered a Cuban. Quite a lot of food, I think. We have Swiss cheese, salami, another type of pork, I think mustard, pickles, thank you Ramina, mayo, all sorts of craziness. Let's see how it tastes. I love the bread, really nice mixture of everything together. This is like a good lunch to go. All right guys, we have just stepped out of the Cuban place. That sandwich filled me up a ton. I'm gonna show you a really cool art installation that you've probably walked over a million times, but I found two people other YouTubers might recognize, guys. One, Tal.
Oh, my bad.
Tal and Jacob, they've been in a lot of my videos. They're just joining us for the journey. You ready for some random stuff?
Let's get random and kooky. You ready, Jacob?
He's ready, let's go.
Guys, subscribe to John. He's the best person on planet Earth.
Thank you, man.
Guys, we're shooting a movie here. Please, everybody out of the way.
So basically in 1977, an aural artist set up this exhibit right here where if you put your ear down, she fell, you will hear a humming noise. And most people never pay attention to it. So you can just put your ear right there, right now. I hear it a little bit. It's like a little xylophone. It's like an alien thing going on.
You hear it right now?
I just heard it. I just heard it. We're gonna put the microphone close, you'll hear it.
The thing that's going like,
yeah, no, yeah, it's like,
it's my country, guys. Look at it's my country.
Oh, don't do it, please. God, he's crazy. Tal is sacrificing the health of his ear.
Whoa!
You hear it?
No, it's if you come this close, it sounds like something out of Final Cut Pro.
You gotta get really close, like join us.
It's really cool, guys. It's like ebbing and flowing.
Tell me in the comments if you hear it.
This is so ridiculous right now.
How cool was that? Like a 1 to a 10?
That's pretty dope.
That was pretty cool.
10.
I probably walked by this thing like 4 times in my life and I've never heard it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like I've heard this before and just didn't realize what was going on.
Yeah.
Like thought maybe it was like machinery down there or something like that. So, cool. Thanks.
All right, I got Mason here. This is like the center of Times Square, and we're gonna show you guys the next thing. And you literally walked right over it. I'm gonna show you where all the theaters in Broadway in the Times Square area are located. There's a little map right underneath our feet, guys. Watch this. All you have to do is look down here. We're gonna kneel. My cameraman Jacob's doing a great job. And you just stare this way. And it's all you see, the different theaters, and you see the streets as well. So look, you see 52nd Street, Neil Simon, Circle in the Square, 51st, Ambassador, 50th, and so on and so forth. Very cool thing, and I admit I have walked by here so many times I have never even noticed it, so something new for you guys. Compared to everything you've seen so far, have you been excited by this little tour?
Yes. The most exciting thing was the door that led to Narnia.
The door that led to the Knickerbocker Narnia, that was cool. All right, one more thing coming up, here we go. Guys, for our final stop, we are in front of the AMC 25, and this looks like a regular movie theater, but this actually was called the El Tinge, built in 1912, an original theater, and if you go inside the lobby and look up, you're gonna see something very, very cool. Let's check it out.
Wow.
This is where you look.
I was just saying that this is like really indicative of what old like vaudeville theaters on Broadway used to be. It's not that large. Like the ceiling's really high. The proscenium, which is the archway over the theater, is really large, but the distance between the entrance and the theater is really small. So there wouldn't have been a lot of seats in here. But it's still really beautiful.
You know your history, man. I gotta bring you on more of my tours. Guys, you can take an escalator up and literally be above where the theater was and stare out into the seats. It's incredible.
So this is what I was talking about, where you could see the outside of the old theater, and this right here, you can see where the stairs were on the wall that led to the balcony seats. Obviously they removed them, but you can see it.
I seriously did not know that Jacob knew so much about this theater. I'm pleasantly surprised, and it's great for all of us, including me, to learn about this like unique history of a theater right next to Times Square. And you know, you can come and see these things, just don't be too disturbing to them. If you want to come real quick and look at a lot of this stuff, feel free. Guys, we're about to go down the escalator right now. I'm gonna tilt the camera up, and this is gonna be one memorable shot. You ready? Let's go. We're spending the night at a hotel that's a book lover's dream come true. From the rooms, to the themed hallways, to the literary-inspired cocktails on the roof, let's discover the Library Hotel. The hotel is literally on a straight line from the New York Public Library, and we're about to get very literary. Well, you'll see.
Oh wow, I really love this part a lot. He likes Kindles, but I like books because I like the whole experience of a book, from touching it and smelling it. So this is awesome. I wish I could smell it, but I can't because of the mask.
You have plenty of time to smell the books later, trust me. There's gonna be a lot of books in this hotel.
You got some keys, they got you in the fashion design room.
Ooh.
Okay, and now every room's got a different subject, so be prepared. We're not gonna test you, I promise.
All right.
Okay?
They have an old library catalog behind the counter here. Now, I don't know if it makes you old to remember having this in elementary school, but actually looking through to find the card for the book you were looking for, so nostalgic. Each room of the hotel and each floor of the hotel is based on the Dewey Decimal System. And if you're too young to know what the Dewey Decimal System is, well, you'll have to Google it. Each of the rooms has a theme based on that Dewey Decimal number. So if you go to the painting room, the books you'll have in your room are based off of painting. Adriana, what room would you pick? I'm curious.
I already know which ones. Of course, I would love painting. That will be one of my favorites. And this one right here. Oh, it's somewhere here. This one.
The paranormal room.
Yeah, perfect. Before the sleep, you just read some scary stories and you're ready to sleep.
Perfect. You'll sleep so well for reading scary stories in a New York hotel. Oh, wait, this guy. I want journalism right here. The reading room. I think every hotel actually should have one of these, not just the library hotel. Especially if it was a rainy day or the weather wasn't that nice and you just want to.
That'd be awesome.
You just want to come down here and chill. Normally they serve continental breakfast here, which is included, and a reception every night where they do wine and cheese. But due to COVID, that's not available, but it will be coming back soon, so we can't show you it. But stay tuned for later, because we're going to show you some places to eat right nearby here that are amazing.
For me.
You want to take it back to the room? Yes. You don't have to hide it. They encourage you to take it. You step off the elevator and you see the theme for each floor. So the 11th floor is philosophy, and every single room as we pass has a different theme as well within that niche. So we've got psychology here. Romantic evening in New York City, the love room, the only room in the hotel with a balcony. Unfortunately, we can't get in. It is occupied, but apparently Dr. Ruth herself picked the books for that room. Adriana's choice. This is a cozy boutique hotel. Now you have to remember one thing about most New York City hotels. This is not Las Vegas. Most rooms are not going to be that big. You know, you pick your New York City hotel room a lot of times based on location and comfort, but you're not usually going to get the high roller suite. The cheapest rooms in the hotel start at about $200 a night, and we're showing you a medium-sized room right now. Obviously, the key to the library hotel is each room having a ton of books.
Witches and neighbors.
Confessions of a Ghost Hunter. Although it is customary for the spirit photographer to allow his sitter to develop the exposed plates, it sometimes happens that the after manipulation of the plates is left to the medium. Check into this room to find out more. Is it a mini bar or is it more books? It's both. A couple bottles of water, a couple ghost books. Would you stay in this room? Tell me in the comments, paranormal, yes or no. This is something very unique about New York City hotel rooms. I literally can't even see the top of the next building unless I duck my head like this. For a first time trip to New York, always an amazing experience to peek your head out like this. Library hotel slippers. Commemorate your stay. I was expecting a book, like a bookshelf in the shower somehow. But there is not a bookshelf in here. Even the door sign is literary themed. Shh, please let me read. Please dust off my books.
Wow, this is really cool. To be in a New York hotel and having a little living room in it, it's so cool.
I like it.
This is the largest room in the hotel, the junior suite. Again, this is not a Vegas style suite, but this is plenty of space for a New York City hotel. Our suite looks straight at the New York Public Library. I feel like Kevin McAllister in Home Alone 2. I almost never stay in hotels in New York. Fun fact, last time I got a hotel in Manhattan was when my Greenwich Village apartment had bed bugs like 8 years ago. Was that TMI, Ben? TMI? Cowboy boots, the art and soul. So I got a pair of cowboy boots for my days in El Paso. This is actually kind of cool.
Why don't you dress like this?
Jimi Hendrix?
I like it actually. I like the details.
Adriana. Every hotel I ever go to, you gotta do the test to see how comfortable the mattress is. This is so soft. I'm kind of in the mood for a nap, but what I really want right now is a cocktail. Tequila Mockingbird, I think I'm gonna order that one. F Scotch Fitzgerald. Here we are, folks. And that's a lot of alcohol.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
This is the worst part of our job because we put all these things in front of us, but we have to film it first, and we're just salivating, looking at these cocktails and cheese plate. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Salud.
Salud. So good.
Tequila Mockingbird. Good book, better drink.
Gone with the gin.
Oh, one more time. It's gone with the gin.
Gone with the gin. I don't always read books, but when I do, oh my kidding, I don't read books. I drink a lot though, so this is my spot.
And then we discovered there's a Los Tacos #1 next to Grand Central, a block away from the hotel, and of course, Adriana wants to come here. I mean, these are the best tacos in Manhattan. This is like the new In-N-Out burger for New York, except tacos. Incredible. Fanny packs out of fashion. Who knew? We're crashing for the night, and in the morning, we're gonna get some really good New York City bagels, so buenas noches. Waking up to that view would never get old. Because we're still not serving breakfast, I got to try Zucker's Bagels, which is 1 block away. Talk about a prime location for eating right here near Grand Central. I'd heard a lot of things about Zucker's, went in, ordered, super easy. I got the Nova Scotia salmon with scallion cream cheese, and I mean, this bagel looks like it's more salmon than bagel, which, you know, if you're spending your hard-earned money, that's what you want to see. Let's see how it tastes. I approve. So today I'm going to be sharing 5 free things that you can do in New York City on New Year's Eve. Now, before going forward, I have to admit I've traveled the last 3 or 4 years during New Year's. It is a great time to escape New York. But that being said, I'm here this year as well, so I'm in the same boat as a lot of you watching this video. Before moving forward, 2 quick things. One is that most of these suggestions involve being outdoors, so you better check the weather forecast. If it's going to be rainy, if it's going to be cold, dress appropriately. Number 2, for my viewers who are 21 years of age or older, that is the legal drinking age in the United States, if you're caught outside with an open container of alcohol, let's say you bring a bottle of champagne and a police officer sees it, you will get a ticket for it. Don't say, I didn't warn you. If you're going to bring it, be very discreet. Let's get to that list. Number 5, Prospect Park in Brooklyn, and this is one of the most popular gathering spots in the entire city for New Year's Eve. You need to go to the Grand Army Plaza, which is right next to the park, and there's going to be live entertainment there. At the stroke of midnight, there is going to be a nice fireworks show.
This is definitely a far chiller alternative to heading to Times Square, and I think it's also a very family-friendly event, so especially if you're gonna be in the Brooklyn area, it's definitely an option to consider. You can also see the fireworks from some different points in Prospect Park if you don't want to be where all of the big crowds are, so use your discretion on that. Number 4, Central Park in Manhattan, and they are having their famous midnight run. But if your idea of a good time isn't a 4-mile run, it's not my idea of a good time. You can view fireworks from just about anywhere in the park south of 72nd Street because they're going to be shooting it up into the air from the middle of the park. So this is a very laid-back alternative in Manhattan. Might not be the most festive thing, but if you just want to see fireworks, could be a good option for you. Number 3, go to a dive bar. And this is my personal choice, and this is actually something that I may even end up doing this year. I highly recommend the East Village of Manhattan because it tends to have the highest concentration of dive bars anywhere in New York. And a lot of bars use New Year's Eve as an excuse to get you to buy an all-you-can-drink ticket. If that's your thing, there are a lot of websites you can look this up, just Google it. But in my opinion, just find some friends or family if you are the type of person who wants to go out and drink. There are so many bars that are not going to be charging admission in the East Village, 9, 10 o'clock. Just roam around and try to find a spot that you're into, make some new friends, go find your new girlfriend, boyfriend, get creative out there because in my opinion, just spending New Year's in a relaxed environment, some good friends, and some alcohol is the way to go. At least that's my local pick. Number 2, the Brooklyn Bridge. I actually looked this up. I saw a video or 2 on YouTube about it. If you're standing on the Brooklyn Bridge and you look up, you can see some fireworks. I believe it can get a little bit crowded there, but I think the opportunity for good photos and video could be okay. This is also one of those weather-dependent kind of things. If you're standing over a body of water, the East River could get pretty chilly, but just an idea for you guys. Number 1, Times Square. And this is something that I've never done. I have no interest in doing, but I'm sure there's tons of you out there who have a bucket list idea of spending New Year's Eve in Times Square. And to you brave souls out there who are interested in doing this, I have some friends who documented the entire experience. Perfect Little Planet did a great video about the Times Square New Year's Eve experience. And according to them, you need to get there about 2 or 3 o'clock. No bathrooms available. That is kind of a problem because once you leave, you can't get back. So if you have a very strong bladder and you can bring some things to entertain you, I suppose it's worth it to be there right at midnight. 4, 3, 2, 1. But for me to sacrifice all of those hours just for a couple of cool minutes isn't worth it, but heck, it might be your thing, so check out their video, and if you do survive, please let me know how it went. I'm curious.